Out of nowhere, question of the week. Let's go into my guy, birthday twin, Mr. Hugh. How's it going, brother?
What's going on? The
Chilling, chilling.
founder.
It's been a minute since you've been on, but
Yes,
hey,
sir. Yes,
glad
sir.
glad to have you back.
Always
Question
a
for you
pleasure.
tonight, sir, is if you could change any piece of wrestling history, what would it be and why?
Good Lord. Let me think about this real quick. I would say the screw job. I would get rid of it. There would be no more because I would love to see how things would pan out with that not being part of history. See where
Hmm.
we will be today because that is the particular moment where that basically changed a lot for us in wrestling history. So if you was to take that away, I just wonder, where would we be today?
No screw job, no Brett WCW.
None of that. I don't think
Hmm.
so, bro. Right? But you might not have Austin.
Maybe Sean would have jumped over to
May,
WCW.
who knows? Who
Ah,
knows? No, maybe no attitude era. Who knows? I don't know.
maybe
But
no attitude era.
see, that's the big what ifs. You know what I mean?
That's it.
But yeah, I would love to get rid of the screw job and see where it takes us.
Screw job. I love that answer. We got a lot to talk about tonight, man. A lot of wrestling this weekend. Had a lot of wrestling this past week. We're gonna
Hmm.
talk a little bit of Rey Fenix and Penta. We're gonna compare them a little bit. But before we get into anything, let's go ahead and start our show.
That's good.
Four sides of the ring, four sides of the ring. Everybody out here got an opinion, your ego shall die in the ring. If the debate's getting heated, we heating, you know it's been fire in the ring. We them guys in the ring, leave with your pride in the sling. Four sides of the ring, four sides of the ring. Everybody out here got an opinion, your ego shall die in the ring. If the debate's getting heated, we heating, you know it's been fire in the ring. We them guys in the ring, leave with your pride in the sling. Four sides of the ring.
What is going on, Ringsiders? Your favorite faction is back. I am your host, the founder, Marcus Hernandez. I am alongside the one that makes you say, ah, damn, Nit Ram.
What's going
And
on?
if you're here for the out of nowhere question of the week, and if you see Nit Ram's sweater, we have the inaugural 3 count trivia champions in the building with us, Mr. Hugh has the third, and
That's me.
Mr.
That's me.
Brandon the guy. Guy, what's going on, fellas?
That's me. I'm him. He is I and I am him.
He's him.
I'm him.
Good brothers, we in the building. Let's go.
We here.
Mark,
We here.
Mark, you're
Always
supposed to
about to
give
be
them a Paul Heyman introduction. You're supposed to say the reigning, undisputed, undefeated, almost going on for a complete year of 365 days and counting. 3 count trivia champions.
Hmm.
Championship culture.
You see it. You see it.
You see.
It's always all love and respect. You know what I mean? But I'm biased. I want my boys to have the titles. You know, I want it to be home.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
100%.
So
It will
Didn't
be
they?
home.
What? Who called them the Bench Brothers? They weren't the Bench Brothers, were they? Who was the Bench Brothers?
That
Then
was,
Bench
some-
Brothers. I don't
an
even know
opinion-
who the Bench Brothers were.
That was an opinionated show. That was Chance and
oh,
Mike.
okay.
Because they
Yeah,
just like kept they kept
Because
getting
even on the
benched out.
redemption one, they got kicked back to the bench on the redemption one.
Oh man, what's going on, fellas? Have you guys been to?
Oh, my brother. Let's testify. Well, as you may know, Championship Culture took a small break from season 3. 3 seasons under our belt. And we're preparing for season 4. And if you've been paying attention to social media, season 4 is coming sooner than what you think, and it's coming with a bang. We're going to do some things that I don't think that you thought that the Championship Culture guys can do. But I'm going to let my partner in crime say something about that.
Hey, it's gonna be an X-rated show. I'm gonna tell y'all I've been training. I've been eating my vegetables, doing my push-ups and whatnot. And I became a male stripper. My name is
Hey,
Chocolate Thunder. You feel me? So
okay.
you might get some OnlyFans material in there with some belt play. You know,
I like it.
and just
I
letting you
like
know.
it. The guy, what's the
Well,
guy's name? What's
I have no idea. He didn't partake in the festivities, but you know,
uh
yeah.
come on, Brendan.
Missing
Come
out,
on, man.
Brandon.
Lighten
I'm
up a
a, I'm
little
a,
bit.
What?
Have a little fun.
I'm gonna
What?
watch y'all videos and add a little bit like Booker T, like, yeah,
In his, in his
okay.
defense, in his
Uh-huh.
defense, he just got back from feeding chickens. So I'm just,
Does the
so
strip club you work at serve shrimp? Because that's the only
oh,
way I'm gonna go
absolutely,
support
No.
you. Oh, then I'm there.
absolutely,
I'm there.
yes,
Oh my
yes.
God. The fact that you, oh Lord, okay. Yep.
He is a fan of shrimp from the strip club.
Right.
The
The one
shrimp.
place,
Yeah.
yep. All kinds of health code violations happen there, but we're going to eat shrimp. Okay.
Absolutely.
The
That's why
But you
you,
and
seafood
Tim,
smell is just part of the environment.
okay.
that's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy.
He said what he said.
He did. He said it with the
He
whole
did.
chest.
He
Yeah, he
said
said what he
what
said.
he said.
I ain't mad at
Oh
you. Do
man.
your thing, brother.
Without any without spoiling anything, could you give us one hint of something that's going to be awesome for season 4 of Championship Culture?
The first episode might be a banger. No, it will be a banger. But it's definitely something to look forward to. Um, brother guy, the first background or the first set, the museum we call it, is actually complete. The second set is still under construction. But June 10th, check it out. We're back.
Ooh,
Okay.
And if you pay
we got
attention to
sets.
Championship Culture, we like to do some special episodes too. So just be prepared.
I like that. I like
Yes.
that.
But I can tell you
I like
this.
that.
I don't know if you're ready for this. Are you ready?
What's up? What's up?
Everybody has a story.
Ooh.
Okay.
Every belt does have a story.
He said I did that.
I like it.
Hey,
Was
we'll
that Mike
you
talk.
taking it?
Yeah, that's Mouth and Alpha Mike's in the chat.
The Italian
Whose story
stallion.
it is.
Oh yeah.
I
The
know,
Italian
right?
Stallion. Yep.
Yeah.
That's my boy.
We'll talk some more championship culture towards the end of the
buddy.
show. But fellas, a lot of wrestling this week, a lot of wrestling this weekend coming up as well. Had a lot of go home shows. Have you felt like go home shows have been a little bit underwhelming lately? Like, I guess some people might say, "Oh, you don't have to watch it. You could skip it. You could watch something else." Sometimes something might happen. You know what I mean? I don't know. How you feeling about this, Brandon? Do you think go home shows are underwhelming nowadays?
I think they're underwhelming because we're getting such quality on the regular shows. So we don't have to be saying, oh, we're waiting for this on a pay-per-view. We're waiting for something different. And it's gotten to a point now, sometimes Raw and SmackDown are just on par with the PLEs. So, the go home angles might feel a little flat. The go home angles might not be what we expect. Because truth be told, we were programmed for 20 plus years one way. So now we're still trying to figure out what the new norm is to watch wrestling. And it's like, how do you give us Penta and AJ Styles on a Monday Night Raw, a match that we didn't think we would probably ever see? And that's almost just as important as what's going to happen on the pay-per-view. But we know, okay, it's going to be something. But I feel like now because we're getting quality week over week, that's probably why it's kind of feeling kind of flat because the excitement isn't really there.
Do you agree with Brendan here, Nitram?
I do. I think when it comes to go home shows, I think ever since Triple H took over, I think they're very underwhelming. I do think it's in the fact of being safe. Look what happened in a sense to Rey Mysterio on the go home show. He wrestled a match. He hurt his knee. He was out of Mania.
Did he?
We can flip a coin on it.
Okay.
It's a lot more believable than Bailey's. I'll tell you that.
Facts.
But
Facts.
I don't know. I've always said Triple H is really bad at go home shows. He just really is. I don't like any of his go home shows. I thought Raw was real boring. I thought NXT did a way better job selling Roadblock than Raw did for Saturday Night Main Event. Obviously, SmackDown's tomorrow. We'll see how that goes with R-Truth and John Cena, but I doubt it's going to be anything special. I think go-home shows for AEW have been underwhelming, except for this one. I think they're finally stepping up, and it's kind of like what Brendan was saying as far as WWE. AEW is doing the same thing where they're giving you good quality week after week after week, where they're starting to pick up this fire again. So even their go-home show, like the After Angle, they wasted TV time on just doing the Anarchy in the Arena stuff, and it was just awesome. It's just guys beating up guys, throwing trash cans. And, that's the stuff that we used to like growing up. That's the chaos that we like to see. And I feel like, yes, a good promo sells the show. 100%. Miles Bourne's promo sells Roadblock. 100%. But I need the big angle.
Battleground.
I'm sorry. Is it Battleground?
You keep saying Roadblock.
I keep saying Roadblock. Battleground.
You must be excited about Roadblock.
But it sells Battleground. And that's great. What was the go home segment on NXT? I can't tell you, but they had a good promo. And I'm excited for that match. But a go home show should sell me on the whole card, not one match. And I think that's a problem that a lot of people are having.
Okay. Hugh, do you agree with that? Do you think a go home show should sell you the whole card on the PLE or pay-per-view?
It definitely should. It's supposed to make you tune in to that event, and a lot of these go home shows, they haven't been hitting like that. Don't get me wrong, you have certain moments within the show, but nothing that really sells the show, like Nitram said. Nothing that's going to really make you say, look, all right, if you didn't see anything else in regards to wrestling that week, you know what I'm saying? You should be able to tune in to say SmackDown and be like, all right, sell me on this PLE tomorrow or Sunday. And if you can't watch this show and feel like, look, all right, I'm invested. I want to see this show on the PLE on Saturday, then it's not doing it. And for me, it hasn't been doing it. It hasn't been doing it.
I agree. I agree with all three of you. I also feel like at times, if they feel like they're already done, if they feel like they already told all the story that they could tell before the PLE, you know what I mean? And you don't want to give us a promo, or you don't want to give us a backstage segment. A video package always goes a long way. A well-done video package goes a long way. Mm-hmm. And I also feel like, you don't really have to go home with it. You could go do a different aspect. You could give me a new story. You know what I mean? You could do something with your United States champion. Give me something to look forward to after the PLE is over, so I can tune into that next week's show. I don't have to worry about what stories are going to come after everything is said and done. I could already be focused on the United States champion, or maybe the women's tag team, if that's still a thing, or the women's United States champion. In general, just stuff like that. People that you don't have in that PLE start building their future stories, so the next PLE they could be a part of that event. If that somewhat makes sense. But I do agree with all three of you saying it should definitely sell the PLE number one or the pay-per-view. And if it doesn't do that, I think real wrestling fans, no matter what, are still going to tune in to the PLE and or pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Still check it out. But I definitely agree with all three of you. Something that didn't sell, well, I'm not going to say it didn't sell. We had a live diss track on Joe Hendry and Trick Williams. Excuse me, I spoke up. But
no, let it rock. He got something to say.
I was gonna say he's thing. You better listen to him.
Yeah, he's upset with the go home. He's upset with the go home shows too. They gotta fix it. But Hugh, who had the better diss track here? Trick Williams or Joe Hendry on Tuesday night?
Ah, man, that's tough.
I
would say I'm going with Trick. I'm gonna go with Trick just because Joe Hendry is a pro at this for the most part. Trick only did it once. Joe Hendry made a career out of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be different, and I'm gonna go with Trick just because I like his energy. I like his creativity. I like what he did, and he had to come with it to be on the same level as Joe Hendry.
Okay.
Joe Hendry is the obvious. He's the obvious answer.
But Nick Rams one right now. We got Trick Williams 1, Joe Hendry 0, Brennan the Guy. Who had the better diss track, Joe Hendry or Trick Williams?
So it depends on what you want to talk about for it, because to a casual, I could tune in and follow Joe Hendry's better. As a wrestling fan, I'm gonna be with Trick. So that's the crazy part, because I was torn in the middle. So I don't know because I get what they're doing with both of them. Because at the end of the day, next Tuesday, you're going to be looking for Trick Williams. He's got to stand tall. But then next Thursday, you're going to be looking at Joe Hendry. So it's like, I think Joe might have got this one. As much as I want to say Trick, I feel like Joe might have got. I would probably search on YouTube Joe Hendry more than I would Trick after that. And Trick's had some banger diss tracks that makes you go back and look. But Joe's always take me back to that moment of who he was fighting to. Like, remember, he was like, and he's gonna hate that I say this, when he said about Nick Nemeth, Ryan Nemeth, he's Nick Nemeth's brother. That was classic. You know, I feel like Joe Hendry is always gonna take you back to those moments. So I'm gonna give it to him on this one.
Okay, 1-1, Nitram.
It's so easy for me to say Joe Hendry, right? Like, it's so easy. But I'm gonna be honest. As a former retired diss track rapper, your boy Nitram, I sit there and I get where Brendan's coming from. It's so easy to look up Joe's song. It's so easy to sing along. Like, it's so easy to go, whoop that trick, you'll always be Melo's bitch. That's hilarious.
Right.
It's a slow pace. It's easy to clear. But I'm not going to sit here and say that Trick Williams didn't have bars. Trick Williams was dropping bars in the middle of the ring, and I generally was popping for him. I've never popped for Trick in my life. Not once. That was the best thing. That's the best thing he's ever done in ring. In ring.
Really?
When my boy looked at the camera, and then Booker T was adding to it, Booker T was like, yeah. But it was like the perfect spots, perfect bars. Trick gets it for the fact that he had to stop being humble, and he should have never got his spot in the Royal Rumble. That bar alone sticks in my mind.
Yeah.
Because it was so hard the way he said it. I generally think Trick
There
had
was
a better
some passion
track.
behind it. You could tell he had some. That was some.
He was speaking his truth a little bit. Joe had his fun, and I do think Joe's is catchier. It's gonna go longer term because Joe Hendry's songs are longer term. But Trick won this round as far as tracks go.
You know what? The fact that you even are on Trick Williams' side is very shocking.
That is
very, very shocking.
I like a good diss track.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not one for this. I don't know. I felt like both of them were like they're both whack in my opinion. I'm not really a fan of Joe Hendry's thing that he does, and I don't know why, because I was a huge fan of when Elias did it, you know. But it's different. It's different with Joe. Yeah, I liked when Elias did it. His worked. I don't know what I think Joe's is just like. I don't know. I feel like Joe's is just corny. It's extra corny, and maybe because he's like a super baby face. I know it's the point,
probably.
but it's because
I see where you're coming from.
He's a super baby face, so it's like extra corny. And then Trick Williams is just like, I just felt like
it was raw gutter energy. It was like, this is coming from a real place. You know, like you just felt it.
I was just sitting there thinking, like, damn, Carmelo Hayes is probably like, this is not the NXT I left. This is not how I thought.
Like, y'all having fun. I want to go.
Right, y'all having fun. We didn't get to do that.
Right.
But if I had to choose one, I think I'm gonna go Trick Williams too. I feel like he definitely said more than Joe said, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, Joe also wasted a chunk of his song trying to show the funny clip of Trick acting scared. It's from way back in his earlier Trick Mellow Gang days. I feel like he should have cut that part out and went more into the song.
He should have went for the joke.
using NXT 2.0 clips is just dirty. It's just, like WWE shouldn't even have that in the archives. There should be deleted films.
No, we saw him with
Keep-
red leather pants.
Keep the
We put
championship
Trick Williams
moment.
Right.
We
Right.
saw him in DC. He had on red leather pants. We was like, all right, what is this? What? That's Carmelo's bodyguard. What is he doing? And I remember sitting there, I was like, yeah, he was all over the place that night with red leather.
We're gonna get to this match, but Drove wants to know: do you guys feel like Trick will become TNA champion?
Yes.
I think if it's anybody that can do it, he will do it. And if he does, it's probably going to be a quick title change where he got it and then it drops it back to someone else. But we'll talk about that later, I guess.
I think he's the only person that can get away with beating Joe Hendry, personally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I say it's going to be a quick change.
But I will say, because you guys know I'm not a big fan of Trick, it is sink or swim for him. They're going to put TNA on his back. And if he can't boost, I don't know how they do ratings on their app, or if he can't boost merch or something, they're going to look at that hard. They got to see if this Whoop That Trick from 200 NXT can translate to Whoop That Trick. I don't know how much TNA gets, 400 TNA. You know what I mean? I'm not even trying to slide. I generally don't know how big their arenas are. So
I think it's about the same. I think they're both. They're both doing
more.
3,000. You think TNA gets more than NXT?
I think as far as seats, yeah, because they move around. NXT stays in that one.
Oh yeah, they stay in the performance. Well,
Right. Well,
yeah,
they have their set stage where TNA does move to Coliseum, so they probably do get like 1,000 people shows. To be fair.
Okay. Well, speaking of TNA, do you feel like we should be paying attention more? You feel like you should be downloading that app, watching some TNA now that WWE has a hand in them? Same with AAA, right? Do you guys feel like maybe we should start paying attention to these said promotions and see what storylines are being told? Niran?
Yeah, I think at this point we got to, right? Because they made it very clear they're going to start crossing everything up together. WWE's going to start mixing in products. You know, Vinkino's probably going to win a AAA title. We already seen him at Mania. He's bound to come and help out Andrade or help out Rey Fenix, help out Penta. One of these guys, especially with El American Grande, not Chad Gable in a mask, is out there. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff going on. So, like, we kind of had to pay attention to what's happening in AAA if you kind of want to know what's going to end up being a big deal for WWE. And the same thing with TNA. I watch a lot of NXT. When I see these TNA guys come back, yes, they bring a lot of the old WWE people, and people get confused on what their name is now. But I'm also like, oh, man, but what are they up to right now in TNA? And I have to, like, kind of backtrack it because I'm kind of lost of why this is important. So now you're in this thing where now you have to pay attention to all these brands because, in a sense, it is WWE's TNA, WWE's AAA, the same way it's WWE's Evolve, WWE's NXT, you know, WWE NXT Europe, whatever they just announced. These are WWE properties, and they're all just going to intertwine with each other. So we have to be on top of all of it. WWE's making sure that we can't watch nothing but WWE if we want to follow these stories, and that's genius on their part.
WWE is a bully right now. I'm just being real. They forcing us to watch everything WWE, and they taking our money, all of our money. Straight
and
up.
it's forcing you to watch on
And
all different ways.
Yeah, but I love it. I love it because it's wrestling. And I said this last night. It's wrestling, and wrestling is fun. It's hot again. We're taking over. Wrestling's taking over. Can you believe that? 2025, wrestling is taking over. It's crazy.
Like, number one, it could be the number one watch sport.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get there. Brendan, how you feeling? You think we should be paying attention more to TNA and AAA now that WWE has their hand and their say-so in it?
I think that we're going to be introduced to AAA on a larger scale because, truth be told, it probably was one of those hidden gems that not a lot of people knew because we didn't have access to it. Kind of like how TNA back in the day, the running joke used to be is, where do I watch it at? Because you couldn't find it. You know, and then when you found it, you're like, oh, this was going on. Oh, this was great. So I think that TNA got the boost that they need. I just hope that TNA. So when I say this, I'm going to say it as neatly as I can. We kind of know who Raw, SmackDown, and NXT wrestlers are. we need that same feeling for TNA, AAA. Evolve has their own feel. LFG has their own feel, right? But I hope that it doesn't get so blurred that it feels like, and Ram, don't say this, AWROH, AWROH, AWROH. I hope it doesn't get that blurred. Does that make sense? Because why would I care about the AAA Mega Champion if he's losing to the NXT North American Champion? But the North American Champion just beat the U.S. Champion on SmackDown, but the SmackDown U.S. Champion was in a tag match with the TNA World Champion. You know what I'm saying? You're like,
who just lost to Randy Orton at WrestleMania? Like,
yeah, like you're like, wait a minute, huh? You know, so I hope it doesn't get blurred to the point that it's like, okay, who are these people and why should I care? But I think that it should be mixed to the point that, oh wow, did you see what happened? Oh man, look, Natalya Neidhart is fighting for the NWA World Championship. I didn't know NWA was a thing. Let me go see what she's doing. Oh wow, Natty Castillo got it. Okay. All right, then you're like, well, what do I see on regular TV though? Why don't I see on Monday or Friday? Where Brandon should belong to? You know, I feel like that's where you might lose people because you got me over there to pay attention, but now I'm stuck. So I would say if they can find their own identity to the point that you know what TNA is and you know what AAA. Now, don't get me wrong, Angel Garza and Humberto, absolutely go down there and turn it up. Have the 5-star match that we know you can have. And if you happen to become the champion, stay there. Don't come back to SmackDown with the title. Don't go to NXT and face their champion. Stay there and defend and fight for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't come back with.
So I mean, and don't fight. You don't want them to defend that title on another brand.
No, because then it's going
at all.
So here's my problem. If I do that, right? Angel Garza and Humberto become AAA Tag Team Champions, right?
Mm-hmm.
You bring them to SmackDown. Where's your SmackDown World Tag Team Champions?
Okay. Well, the reason I asked is because what if they do win it and they bring it back to SmackDown? They don't have to be in a match or whatnot. But that's something as far as marketing and promotion. You will want to see those titles on a SmackDown because more viewers, right?
Correct.
Just to bring more eyes to AAA or NXT, TNA, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I asked you if you want them to wrestle on. But go ahead.
No, I don't want them to wrestle on SmackDown. If they make an appearance, they do that. Or hey, they're going to show it on that. Look what happened. Look at how SmackDown superstars are now AAA. Like for instance, when the New Day went down to NXT, they were NXT Tag Team Champions. They came back to Raw one time, but they were on NXT with those titles.
Right.
You know, when the Street Profits were the NXT Tag Champions, they were on Raw. It was like, all right, these guys are here. I don't want to go watch SmackDown NXT because I saw them every week on Raw. There was nothing for make me go want to watch them. You get what I'm saying? Like,
what if they were to not combine, but what if they were multi-champions? Like, let's say Fraction wins SmackDown tag titles. They go to AAA. They win the AAA tag titles. They go to TNA. They win the TNA tag titles. You know, they start doing belt collecting stuff.
If he values it, because think about this: who's your ROH tag team champions?
The Sons of Texas.
All right. You. Who are the ROH 6-man champions?
Hey, bro, don't get me lying. Is it still Dust? Is it still the what's his face? Gold Dust. What's his name? Dustin Rhodes and
I think they actually retired those belts. I think they combined them.
No, he's still carrying it.
No, he still got it. Yeah,
he still got it. See my point?
I don't know who his partners is, but yeah.
Now who's the 6-man tag for AEW?
I don't know.
Hold on.
The 6-man tag for AEW is the Ops.
Okay.
Yeah.
With
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Right, but who had to be for them? Who had to be for them?
Death Riders.
The Death Riders, yeah.
Okay.
With Pac.
Or was it Hobbs?
No, it was Death Riders with Pac.
Death Riders.
It was Death Riders.
Because nobody can be by that stuff. But see, my point.
I say that because they lost it without Pac.
Yeah, they definitely did. But that's what I'm saying. It blurs the line so much. You're like, why do I care if they're champions everywhere? Because the storyline doesn't support that in this day. It's just literally just gonna be holding the belts. Oh, look at you! You got 6 trophies, but you ain't do nothing but just dance in the ring talking about CEO. CEO, let me show up.
Yeah, please don't, because she's killing it.
Finally, She's finally back to. She's
We'll
starting
get there
back
when
to-
we get there, Brandon.
She's finally. It only took how many years?
You just gotta enjoy the ride, Brandon. She was
It's
trying
not
to
about-
elevate. She's
It's
trying to
about the
elevate
journey,
young woman.
not the destination.
Mm-hmm.
But look who it took to wake her up. But okay.
Hey. It took better talent to wake her up. She was trying to
That's
elevate.
it.
I have a theory.
Elevate.
Okay.
She was trying to elevate. That's all. You know. Hugh, how you feeling about this though? Do you think we should be paying attention more to TNA and AAA now that WWE has their hand in it?
Yeah, you have to. They're all intertwined, so you have to at this point. There's a reason they're sending Nick Nemeth and Moose and whoever else to TNA. There's a reason they're sending Los Garzas to TNA. You know, I mean to AAA. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you force if you see your superstar on SmackDown or Raw, whatever, and then you turn around and see them on those other brands, you have to tune in because it's like, all right, everything is just intertwined. So it makes sense. You have to at this point.
I feel that. Nick Cardenas is in the chat. Pops a question. When are they going to give my boy Austin Theory a push?
Let's talk about it, man. Like, come on.
I feel like we tried, right? And that USA title run was just so bad. It was so bad. But it's not. I don't want to blame him. I want to blame creative because they did him no favors. And then after he dropped the title, they put him up against a GOAT who did him no favors.
Yeah.
No. John Cena clearly went out there and said, "This is not going to help you at all, regardless what the result is." And he was 100% correct.
He was.
Austin Theory still has time though. Him and Waller, they
does.
still have time. They have plenty of time.
Right.
Now, if you want him to get a push like my boy Dom's got to come first. Dom's got to get the world title before
absolutely.
anybody.
Absolutely. He's the next coming of Dom though, because he's not. I feel like he's not believable as a heel because he's such a nice guy.
Who Theory?
Off the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Theory.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So like, he's the next coming of Dom.
We'll see. Let's see what's up. I do want to talk. I do want to talk. I was talking to Nate Ram about we were having a conversation, and then I want to get your thoughts on it, fellas. It's about Rey Fenix, and there was a rumor. Maybe 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, Vince wanted to bring Penta on, but Penta didn't go to the WWE because he wanted his brother to go with him. They didn't want Rey Fenix, so Penta said no. And then, the rest is history. Everybody knows the Lucha Brothers. But now we have Rey Fenix in the WWE, and I feel like people aren't just behind him. He doesn't get the pop that I feel like WWE wants him to get, so they try to add more things to his character. And I like it because I'm a fan of Rey Fenix because I know who he is, but I don't think this generation of fans like it because they don't know who Rey Fenix is.
Yeah.
But I also feel like he's not getting that Penta treatment, right? Like Penta is displayed on a showcase right now that's incredible. He's presented like a superstar. And I don't think Phoenix is presented like that. How do you feel about that, Brandon?
So it's crazy that you say that because Penta is just cool. Penta is presented as that cool wrestler that everybody's going to want to see. Every aspect of Penta, somebody in the audience likes something about everything that he has. Whether it's the entrance, whether it's the music, it's the sparklers, it's the walk, it's the hit, it's his ring gear is the mask, everything about it is a big entertainment aspect, right? Rey Fenix's problem is Rey Fenix has always been the high flyer, go lucha wrestler. And we should have knew that when the first person that they put him against was one of the few people that could keep up with him. He's so watered down right now, nobody's going to get behind him. Because remember, when Rey Mysterio first came to the WWE, the reason people got behind him, the video packages, Rey Mysterio came out there like a bolt of lightning, and he had something for people to climb onto. think back to who's that jumping out the sky, REY. One, we could all just sing it, and he jumped out of the ground, and it was, who is this 5-foot man flying around the ring? And you instantly were captivated. Ray doesn't have, I'm sorry, Rey Fenix, I'm sorry. He doesn't have something to captivate you because he's so watered down right now. Because honestly, I don't know who could keep up with him for that long. And if you think about it, I think that's like, we got to figure out how do we make this work. So I think that's what he's suffering from. Because Penta is just starting to click on all cylinders. And you can see the evolution from when he debuted on Netflix to just this Monday. This Monday was probably the best entrance he's had. They finally figured out, like, yep, that's it. This is it. This works. Keep him in red. Keep this. This is what we're going to do. This works. This is Penta. But Ray, it's like, well, what are we missing? He doesn't have that connection to everybody like his brother does.
And it's just, it's crazy that you say he's watered down, because I do feel like he is watered down. And it's no disrespect to anybody that he's been in the ring with in WWE, but you could just see they can't keep up with him in general in
he's
wrestling.
Ready to go, because that's been his style.
And I literally texted Nitram. I said, man, it's so crazy that Ray went from wrestling some of the best mid-carders you can think of in AEW, and then he goes to WWE. And no disrespect to Jimmy Uso, but it's just like, there's levels to the game, you know what I mean? And Jimmy's just not at that same level with Rey Fenix. And it was
from Solo.
And man, I don't even want to talk about it. Hugh, how do you feel about Rey Fenix, man? Do you feel like he has that Penta treatment? Do you feel like it's not all the way there, or do you think I'm overreacting about this?
No, 100%. Like Brandon said, there's no connect with the fans. They're trying their best to get him over with, like you said, a similar entrance to Penta. It's just not working because, number one, he doesn't really have anything to get over with. Like, what is his thing? Penta, his thing is what? The walk, right? It's just being swagged out, right? What's his thing? When I look at him, you see what? Rey Mysterio. You see Dragon Lee. You see any other luchador. No disrespect to him, but literally, it's just another guy in a mask. Like, no disrespect once again, but he can't really get over with this stuff in the ring because, like Brandon said, he's watered down. It's a new system, right? And he can't go out there and just outshine everybody because then you you know what I mean? Like, he has to be skyrocketed to the top at that point, right? So yes, he's being held back. Yes, he needs some sort of way to connect with the fans, to get himself over, and he is getting the same treatment for the most part. But Penta is he just has the total package right now. He has the merch, the gloves, the look, the swag. Like, he just found his way. He found his way to connect with everybody and just get over. So once Rey Fenix figures that out, he'd be okay.
And I agree with you. And I hope he figures it out, because they have so much. There's so much talent. I think him and Andrade could work really well.
Crazy.
Malachi Black is back. You know what I mean? We got to figure out to do something with Dragon Lee, because that's another guy, super talented.
Exactly.
And he came in off with all the fun. He was a test pilot for the Penta, because remember, he came with the whole dragon thing, the smoke, and I don't want to sound ignorant to the lucha culture when it comes to like mask and thing, but Dragon Lee was the first mask that I was like, I clearly can see a difference, because I felt like everybody was Rey Mysterio, or I had a distance, it's still like a Rey Mysterio style mask, but it was like Dragon Lee mask was like, oh, okay. Then I started noticing, Bandito mask is different. You know, I started to really pay attention because Dragon Lee was so different. And I was like, oh, this works. This is cool. Okay. Then I started Googling, like, all right, well, what does this mean on the mask? What is that? And I'm like, makes sense. So,
like you said, he has dance partners. I mean, we got Escobar there. You got you got the Los Garzas, man. Like Mello,
Carmelo Hayes.
You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, just let him loose.
You got the Miz, Drew McIntyre, if he's going to be hanging around in the mid card division. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys where we can make Rey Fenix really interesting. He doesn't have to win, but as long as we're making him interesting, then we'll really care. I just feel like he's stuck in the old cruiserweight
Yep.
side right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
You
the
know,
best
like,
way to put it.
yeah,
He's like
he
in
just
that, like he don't have nobody to beat that.
right, yeah. And everybody else that he can, or anybody else that he can wrestle is there with him. You know what I mean? And it's just like like this is what we call a margarita match. I don't have to watch this. You know, just continue on. We'll see.
And one thing, and I'm gonna just say this:
He needs new music. But go ahead.
I watched Rey Fenix and Dante Barton and an AEW show put on a 27-star match, and I swear to you, I have never seen somebody. It felt like they were like matching each other's energy so well. I swear they did a Spanish fly into a Spanish fly midair. Like that match was so insane. I'm like, did I just see what I? It was so good. Penta took his mask off in the ring. Of course, he had a towel on his face and gave it to Dante Martin. I was like, that tells you that was some respect level right there.
Oh,
And to see this one, I'm like, oh man, like you can tell something's not there.
And you know what it is, guys, and you guys can correct me here if I'm wrong. But usually when you have brothers, I'm using brothers specifically, not tag teams, but brothers, the better wrestler won't have the same career as the flashier brother. Matt was a better wrestler than Jeff. Jeff had a better career. He gets more love. He gets more appreciation. Rey Fenix is a better wrestler than Penta. He in my personal opinion, he just is. In ring wise, he's a better wrestler. He doesn't have the flashiness that Penta has. Penta will have a better career. Scott Steiner was not a better wrestler than Rick Steiner, but Scott had a better career. Who else are brothers? I'm trying to think real quick.
Go ahead, say it. Bret Hart, Owen Hart. Owen was a better
Owen
wrestler.
Hart. Owen was a
100,
better wrestler.
100.
Bret had a better
Yes.
career. The Usos. Jimmy's a better wrestler. I don't care what anyone says. Jay is flashier. He has a better career. You know.
So what about Harlem Heat? What about Harlem Heat then?
Booker T's an interesting aspect because he, you know, he
Go ahead,
made
say
sure
it. Say it.
he made sure his brother ain't shine. Probably didn't
Booker
want
is
to teach him no wrestling either.
He had the better wrestler, but he had the better career too. And he was
What
much
about
more-
what
So you
about
got one exception.
What
I
about
was just messing because everybody know Booker T was the he's gonna make it. You know, like
yeah? What about Roosh and Dragon Lee?
Ooh.
Dragon Lee is a better wrestler.
I don't know about that.
Roosh gets a better career because he's more aggressive and has a better presentation.
I think Dragon Lee is a better wrestler.
He's a better wrestler.
Dragon
I
Lee
love
is
Roosh.
the-
That whole family, Dralistico, all three of them, they're great. But
Dang, you're right. Yeah.
brothers
I don't
had
know.
this thing where the better wrestler in a tag team sense always gets kind of overshadowed because their brother's flashy. It doesn't matter, you know, and that's showbiz. It is what it is. But
Nick
that's
Nick
Rey
said
Fenix.
Nick said Kanan Taker.
I don't know how to break this news to him.
But Glenn Jacobs was a better wrestler than Mark. No, just joking.
That's crazy. 'Cause
He might have been.
Devon was always better than Bubba.
it was like that with the Briscoes.
They're not
too.
even blood, but yes, same example.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
The Briscoes too. 100%.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's you know what? I never really thought about it like that, but now that you brought that up, Niram, that's actually a good way to
Right.
put it.
That's interesting.
All right, Nevran, we agree with you. You made us say all damn. Okay.
I got one.
Fellas, we had some winners from LFG. How we feeling about these winners, Hugh? Why don't you tell me how you feel about them?
Hey man, I'm eager to just to see what they're gonna do, man. It looked like they was the best choice. I mean, they've been hyping the I forgot the girl's name. They've been hyping her up since the signing. So it was kind of like, all right, we kind of figured like she was gonna win. Not taking anything from her.
Jada Steels.
No, take it from her. They got the wrong winner. The men, 100%, they got the right one. The woman got the wrong winner. I watched that show from start to finish. Xena was the best woman on that entire show, in ring and character wise. They got the wrong winner. I hate to agree with Devon with Bubba Ray because I don't like Bubba Ray at all, but he was right. They got the wrong winner.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But like, I mean, we can only wait and see what's going on. But like I said, they pushed her from the beginning. Since they brought her name up a long time ago, and they told us that she was gonna be in NXT or whatnot, or in the performance center working out, have a tryout. They've been pushing her. So it's like, that's understood. But I just can't wait to I want to see what they're gonna do in the ring.
Yeah, Yeah, because oh boy, they let old boy take out Obafemi, and I'm just like, come on now.
Right. Like what?
I'm just like,
Are
come
you
on,
serious?
guys. Right.
Okay.
Right. I'm like, okay, like my man just won tough enough, and he thinks he's cool. He thinks he can just go out there and take out the champ.
Hey, you know what?
Obafemi though, right?
Booker T,
Obafemi, right?
Booker
Not
T's his
even Moose did
coach.
that.
Booker T was his coach, and all of a sudden on the show, Booker T's on commentary. He's just like, "Yeah, no, Jasper Troy, he gonna take out Oba." My boy didn't even go mid card. He didn't even go mid card. He went straight for the world champion. Like, bro, chill out. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Even Oba went mid card. Like,
my man got the super push real quick. I didn't know how I felt about it, but no, I'm with you on that here. I'm excited to see what Shawn Michaels is going to cook with them and see how he uses them, and hopefully we don't see two talents that get lost in the dust, because sometimes we see that a lot, especially with shows like this in the WWE. Brandon, how you feeling about the two winners? You think we got two superstars in our hands?
So I'm a bust your bubble. I was waiting till the end of the binge watch it because I cannot stand reality shows that I gotta keep waiting for the next. I do better with watching it all the way through. But just from the clips that I've seen, I think they had the best characters that fit a WWE superstar that they're looking for. Somebody that they don't have, because a lot of times if you think about like a Tiffany Stratton or Bianca Belair, right? Mm-hmm. They had a look, but they were able to mold them quicker because of their muscle memory of what they were doing, right? So when you look at these winners, it's like, okay, I get why you chose them. Okay, it makes sense. So I would love to go back and see everything because I'm going to watch it all the way through just so I can say, okay, did they or didn't they? Because a lot of times with these reality shows, it's not always about the winner, because some of the people that we've been celebrating were runners-up and people that got eliminated and didn't make it to the finals, but, they went on to become some of the greats that we celebrate. So I think that's what I want to watch the show for, to say, okay, who are the people that we better watch out for? Because they're going to reappear.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got too many shows. They can wind up in TNA. They can wind up Evolve.
I mean, that dude on Evolve had that match over on NXT and just killed it.
Yeah, Sean Legacy.
Sean Legacy definitely stole the show. Name, how you feeling about the LFG winners? You think the WWE has some superstars in their hands?
I think they got stars. Don't get me wrong. Everybody on that show clearly is planned to be on NXT at some point or some show, like Brendan was saying. I do think they kind of ruined the point of the show by having losers show up on NXT too fast. Cutler James was eliminated. He's part of Dark State. Christopher Troy, whatever his name is, and Shiloh Hill, they were in the Battle Royals. It was like I kept seeing LFG losers.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
I kept seeing the LFG losers on NXT. So if they were fighting for an NXT contract, but I clearly see that Cutler James, who got eliminated in episode 6, got an NXT contract because he's in a faction. You know what I mean? It's kind of stupid. Like, I didn't see all the tough enough people immediately on WWE after the show. Like, they would hold people back for a year or two, still have them in training, and then eventually bring them in, and then that's when they get a story like, I lost them tough enough. Something like that. But I think they just dropped the ball and bring these people in way too quick.
I didn't even really catch that. And you did text a group chat too. Like, should we? Oh, did this means he did? What Cutler James? Like, does that mean he won since he's already on TV? And
I generally thought he was going to win.
And that's my point.
We're only like 2 episodes into the show.
Remember, Cedric Alexander came back after the Cruiserweight Classic and had a better career than the actual Cruiserweight Classic champion.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea Ripley, number 1, the Mae Young Classic, and look at her.
Yep. And we never and we didn't get Cedric Alexander signed. He was already signed before that moment.
Yeah.
He said it himself.
Exposing the business.
You're right. Exposed the business. He took that moment away from everybody. Oh man, fellas, we had some breaking news. I guess earlier this week, or not even early, today, really. New Orleans WrestleMania 42 is canceled. They're not going to get to host the biggest wrestling event of the year. Do we see it going back to Vegas? Or
they made $1 billion in Vegas. They're going back.
Yep.
Really?
I don't know.
Apparently,
Period.
apparently that is the plan. Is that they want to do back to back in Vegas.
Why? It could
They're
have
giving
made
$1
that
billion.
good.
Money.
They're
Yeah.
giving New
Everything's
Orleans money
close.
in the
I know.
bank.
Everything is right there, all together.
Yep. And
From what I
think about it.
understand.
It's easy for everybody to get to. It probably wasn't a congestion. And you can be spread apart that you ain't got to be on top of each other.
I know. Mouthing off the mic said it was shoulder to shoulder.
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh.
He said it was not fun. Like he
Yeah,
had
he
fun,
said-
but he
he
said as
said-
far as like congestion of people, it was a little too much.
He
Really?
said
Because
Philly.
every
He
pictures I
said
saw, it looked like they weren't on top of each other. But I guess that was just people posting pictures like that.
You can't
he said
believe the
Philly.
media.
Yeah, he said Philly was better.
Really?
I mean, it was in Vegas. Imagine how many people are in Vegas without the wrestling. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
it's the top tourist spot in the daggone USA. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely shoulder to shoulder. Just like that.
If not Vegas, then where would you like to see it? I got. If I could have one spot, give me WrestleMania 42 in Hawaii and let Roman Reigns win the title back. That's all I'm asking for.
You gotta fly out there. That's crazy.
They'll make their
That
money.
is crazy. That is crazy. They definitely will.
They definitely make their money.
Yeah, no matter what.
Or
go
you
ahead.
know, I
I
mean,
don't know.
you could bring to North Carolina. You know what I mean? I'll
Yeah,
drive
I'll
out to
go
Maryland.
ahead.
I'll drive out to Maryland too.
I thought about Baltimore, but it's like, what do we really have here to offer? To be honest,
And we're not big enough.
What is
Yeah.
traffic like around Raven Stadium? Is
Horrible.
it gets
Yeah, it's terrible.
All times of the day, it's already
wor-
bad.
They're working on it, but it's terrible.
We had the
Okay,
race
okay.
here. Remember, we had one of the
The
races here.
NASCAR race? I mean,
Yeah, and they
the
put all
race,
these-
yeah.
They built the track downtown. The worst experience. Nobody could get to work. Nobody could figure out how to go.
Nope.
People going down the wrong way. We're not big enough to hold what we saw in Philly. We're not big enough. You know how all the like when we left NXT to go to WrestleMania, how it
Yeah.
was in the park. Like didn't feel like it was. Oh, okay, it's right there. No, you don't. It had the same feeling, but it's building streets and highways to get across to get to it. To get from the Raven Stadium to like even to the Oriole Stadium, you can look at it and say, "Oh, it's right there," but you got to cross some stuff.
Okay. So I guess
It's
not
a big
Maryland.
old parking lot. What are you talking about?
They would do Washington. That's close enough for you guys, right? Go to
Oh, yeah,
Washington.
we can do Washington.
What if it was
No.
petty, y'all? What if it was Wembley?
Nah.
Hey,
You talking about you got to fly to Hawaii, bro? Ain't nobody want to fly.
They
to
do.
anywhere.
They do
I mean,
deserve.
we ain't going. I understand that.
yeah.
But can you imagine an international audience? I'm not gonna be funny. They do deserve a WrestleMania
They do.
because we've been taking it for granted, and that's why I'm happy when they get pay-per-views. Yes, let them have that moment because we're spoiled. Give them a WrestleMania. Take it over there one year.
No,
Let-
forget that. Nah, forget that.
Yeah, forget that. What? So these wrestlers could be like, yeah, the greatest WrestleMania I wrestled at was the one across seas.
Has
Right.
they can't have my toys.
They have
They
their
can have the
tour,
other
you know what I mean?
PLEs. Right.
They
They
can
have
have
their
all the
players.
FPLEs.
They get their
All right, then
PLEs.
do it in Puerto Rico, the
They
whole
can-
island.
They can
The
get
whole
their
island.
3 dirty Raws.
Right.
They can keep that. They don't need a WrestleMania, not yet. Eventually,
No,
Right.
I'd say give it to them. Let them have it.
but it looks
could
like
be a
I
close
guess-
one too. It could be Mexico. It could be
Let
Canada.
them,
They done
let them
Canada
spend all
before.
that money.
No, they ain't going to Canada. That's for sure.
They ain't going
No.
to Canada.
Mhm.
They ain't gonna do
100%.
Mexico either.
Or Mac, they ain't coming back if they go to Canada. They was like, we'll just stay here. We live here now. Trish tried to so us we could stay.
Right.
Oh man!
Straight
Before we get into our margarita match predictions, let's go ahead and take a short break.
Dive into a world where every pinfall, every suplex, and every promo is celebrated in fashion. From the legendary 3-count trivia to the iconic bad guy wrestling, we've got the latest gear to elevate your wrestling wardrobe. Show off your passion for the squared circle. It's not just clothing, it's a lifestyle. Come shop with us and unleash your inner champion at foursidesofthering.com. That's foursidesofthering.com.
4sidesofthering.com. Cop all our merch, fellas. Before we get into what's happening on X, looking like Mark's in the chat, he wants to know, with WWE being involved in so many other promotions, is there any chance that we get a weekly recap show for all the companies under the WWE umbrella?
That'll be Wednesday at 8 o'clock.
Oh, that's so petty. That's so no. They already got Evolve happening on Wednesday.
Yeah. It'd be every Saturday at 8 o'clock.
Every Saturday, 8 o'clock. This week, in the world of wrestling, they wouldn't even say WWE. They'll say the world of wrestling and only include their stuff.
Right.
Oh my gosh. I would love to see her, but Sam, as we have social media, that's where we're gonna get our recap from. I hate to say it, you go on YouTube or you go on Twitter, that's where we're gonna get our recap from. Now I can see them doing a YouTube only show to say this week in wrestling type deal, or like a what's happening type of something for YouTube maybe, or on TikTok. Who knows?
I was about to say, but like you just said, you got social media in general. You don't even need that. Think about it. They just got rid of a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you don't even really need that. No, to be honest, why invest extra money into another show like that that's basically just recapping when all we got to do is throw a video package together to highlight certain things or throw it up on our IG or whatever, Twitter or X, you know what I mean? And people going to see it anyway. So it's like, I don't think it's going to happen. A recap show.
Great video package goes a long way.
Yes.
Right.
There you know. Let's move into our segment. Niriam, what's happening on X?
Well, normally I use this segment to talk about people that I either agree with or don't agree with on X. But right now, I'm going to agree with one person that I take seriously. And that's I need everybody to book the Zombie King. The Zombie King has bookings for June. And I want people to go on Twitter and tag the Zombie King. That's with 2 eyes. Okay? The Zombie King. Tag them to your favorite promotion and say, book the Zombie King. We got to hashtag it. We're going to make it a movement. But the Zombie King is going to have the best year of his career in 2025. And we're going to get him ranked on PWI. And we're going to celebrate. But we need all y'all help. So get the Zombie King booked.
We're going to get him ranked again. And it's going to be higher than his first ranking. If you can't find him under the Zombie King, you can also find him
win some gold. My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. Is he about to win some gold on Saturday?
Oh, we don't know yet. He doesn't tell us the details.
He doesn't expose the business.
Oh no. I'm just talking.
No, for real. We'll ask him.
Yeah.
These are the questions we ask him.
We ask him.
Speaking into existence. Yeah.
we'll tell him too. Like, hey, you're gonna win, right? He's just like, I don't know if I'm gonna win. And we're like, we know that you know if you're gonna win or not. You could tell us.
Much respect.
Yeah,
I get it.
Sorry, we didn't have Brennan the guy in here. Sorry, Brennan. We didn't mean to.
Y'all kicked me backstage. I said, "Oh, okay."
While we were celebrating the Zombie King,
right? I was like, "Well, dang, I like the Zombie King," but I said maybe they think I don't know something.
Definitely book the Zombie King. My man is a professional. He's great in ring. I'm not only saying that because he is a co-host and is on our panel of the show, but in all reality, he could definitely work. Our guys right here, Championship Culture, has the pleasure of watching him work live, and they know what's up. So Look out for Junior Flo, the Zombie King. Put him in all your shows because I promise you won't be disappointed. And he's on a rise right now. I think he's got like 4 or 5 shows coming up right now. He's got a championship match on Saturday, like he was saying, big match. So hey, let's go Zombie King.
Book him. Hashtag book the Zombie King.
He should wear his Championship Culture shirt, and then so that make sure when he wins the belt, he has that. That would be fitting. Yes.
It's not like he does a 4-side shirt he could wear, but
right.
But 4 sides of the ring is every match. If he's in a championship match, come on now, you can't deny it. Yeah, come on now.
Sure. I'm not argue with that knowledge.
Yeah. Thanks. You're welcome.
Oh man! All right, fellas.
Everybody, the eagle should die in the ring. 4 sides of the ring.
We got a lot of wrestling this weekend. Pack Saturday, Pack Sunday. First, you fellas off on Monday?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. There you go. So you can stay up on Sunday and watch wrestling.
Oh yeah, because
Absolutely.
AEW is gonna be 6 hours. It starts on Sunday and ends on Monday.
Yeah,
That's the
same.
only pay per view I have to watch within 2 days.
2 o'clock in the morning. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's all worth it.
Even like 12:15, the main event hasn't even started. Oh my god, I want to go to
Yeah,
bed.
it's all worth it. Hey, the one time I was shocked is when he was up. It was like 12:30 midnight, and Nato was wrestling. He was like, "All right, it's about time. My guy's about to wrestle," and he was there, and he watched that Nato match. So
Dang all right.
yeah, we got Saturday night main event this Saturday night, fellas. Looks like it's the shortest card for one of Triple H's PLEs. 4 matches on the card. I assume we're probably gonna get a random segment. I'm not sure from who. Maybe The Rock, maybe Charlotte Flair. I don't know. Maybe Becky Lynch. I don't know who's gonna do something. But 4 matches seems like 2 less than 5 or 6. But let's start off with Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, steel cage match. Will this be a margarita match? Knit Ram.
Yeah, I don't care for this match at all. I was over it after Mania, and I get it. They keep doing it. And everyone's like, oh, it's a great blood feud. I'm done with it. I don't care about this their whole trilogy they got going on. This is not, they're trying to redo the Punk stuff. It's not working for me. I don't really care for it.
Okay, Knit Ram's 1 margarita down. Brendan the guy. Margarita match for you?
Nope, this is going to be the surprise match of the night.
Who you got winning?
I think Damian has to win because Drew won the last one, right?
Yeah.
So they can have that true rubber match. Because this, even though this is the 3rd time they met, aren't they? No.
It's technically 1-1 because
Yeah, that's what I say. I remember it being
Yeah.
1-1 for some reason. Because it was when he cashed in on it, wasn't it?
yeah, it was the main.
And which
Mania
color?
40.
Just Punk. So I feel like this is going to lead to, okay, we can walk away from this and come back. But I definitely got Damian winning.
Okay. Hugh, how we feeling about Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre? Who you got winning? And is this a margarita match for you?
No. I think they're going to deliver. They're going to do what they do. I'm just hoping we get the blue cage, but the old school blue cage. But I have Damian winning because, like Brandon said, I feel like he does need a win, and Drew can take a loss. He's one of those untouchable guys nowadays. Like he can lose as much as he wants, and he's still going to be relevant. He's still going to be one of those top guys that you can throw in any scenario. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this match. It's a nice story being told, to be honest. But it definitely has to end after this. For right now.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you definitely has to take a break after this. I got Damian Priest winning too. I think he needs a big win and something to get his push back towards getting a main title or a title, some gold. So definitely got him for this. I'm interested in this. I'm not gonna say it's a margarita match for me. So Knit Ram's the only one drinking a margarita. Next match on the card, we got the GOAT of all GOAT, 17-time John Cena going up against Mr. R-Truth. First time in a long time, but for the world title.
No, it's not.
It's not for the world title?
Nope, they took it off.
It's a non-title match.
It's a regular match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was for the title too.
You know what that means.
For that reason, salt on the rim. They could have did something real cool with the title on the line for R-Truth, man. I mean, come on, guys. They could have did something great with R-Truth. I know he's not.
Keep it, man.
Right. He's not going to win the title. I know that. Just throw the stipulation on it anyway. Make me believe R-Truth could leave world champion.
Yeah.
God. Anyway, Cena wins by something. Travis Scott, yeah.
The false finishes would have been crazy with R-Truth trying to almost becoming world champion. Salt on the Rim is hilarious. Which definitely does tell us Cena's winning. We don't know how I don't know what will happen come out of all this because R-Truth has no enemies backstage that I know of, at least. So this might be a margarita match then for me. Not gonna even lie. I can't believe I'm saying that about John Cena, but this might be a margarita match for me. Hugh, how you feeling about this?
I mean, it won't be a margarita match if little Jimmy show up.
True.
Hey man.
True.
But I mean, we already know the outcome. John Cena, he can't lose. Not to R-Truth. No disrespect to R-Truth, but he's a champion. Come on now. I mean, unless they're gonna run it back somehow and have Truth win, and then you have to run it back. But nah, I don't think that's gonna happen because you had too much time. What's up?
Since it's a non-title match, if we get a Travis Scott or anybody that comes out to help Cena, do you think Mr. Rhodes makes an appearance back?
I'll keep him
See,
off
I
TV.
forgot all about Cody Raheem. I would say keep him off for a while too. He's not needed right now, to be honest.
He's not needed.
He's not
just
needed right
saying,
now. Let him
just
cook for a
saying.
little while.
Dustin Rhodes, better wrestler. Cody Rhodes, more flashy. Just another example.
Hey, that's
true too. That's true too.
That is true.
That's true too.
That's very true. Dang. Damn it, Nick Ram.
Brendan, the guy, you're awfully quiet over there. It seems like you're cooking something up about this Truth Cena match.
We still got Friday, and part of me said I feel like they're gonna say it's for the title because I feel like they're gonna do something. But I mean, I hate to say this, but give me the sugar on the rim for this match. And you taking salt, I'm taking because this I was interested in Randy because I felt like okay, Randy has a chance, and it was like okay, what better way for him not to win it was the way we got it right. But with R-Truth, I feel like we still got tomorrow that they can add some razzle dazzle to it to give you that hope but then if they do that and it doesn't happen, are you really going to push the narrative of Cena being a heel? Because if people get behind him and thinking, okay, it could backfire. We see what happened when the fans get too far behind you. It changes all of the plans. So they might just want to play this one safe as a transition and get them to the CM Punk of the conversation. But
you could also if you did it for the title and you throw a stipulation where it's like title for career, right? I think Triple H or R-Truth is the perfect person to act like he never lost that match. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not retired, man. I just lost my retirement home spot or something like that. You know,
he would say it's his rap career or something. He'll be like, I retired in rap. I retired. You know what I'm saying? I retired on SmackDown, but I'm a Raw superstar now. You know, like you could do something with R-Truth
or something. He could literally be anywhere.
Where stipulations would have been great. Also, they could have just made this a Money in the Bank qualifier, and at least then I would have been like, oh, if Truth wins, he gets a Money in the Bank. That's cool. Like,
well, I got one better for you.
On it. What you got?
Why couldn't this be the first match? R-Truth wins, and then Cena get the title back at the end of the night.
Like a Dusty finish?
No. Remember back, it was here in Baltimore. Triple H won the title from Randy Orton, and at the end of the night, he had a rematch, and Randy got it back. Why not give him that moment?
18 times Cena?
What better way to really stick it to, I'm going to be the last champion, and I'm number 18.
Do you guys want to hear my 18 times Cena fantasy booking real fast? I think Cena should pull a Brock Lesnar and win the Money in the Bank, cashing on Jey Uso, 18-time champion.
Yeah, you said that last time.
18-time champion. And now both rosters have to figure out who's going to save these titles from retiring with Cena. I think they could tell a beautiful story.
They could.
That's risky, but yeah.
They could. Let's move on to our next match. CM Punk, Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker. I'm really interested in this match. It's not a margarita match for me. And I will say I do think Seth and Braun's going to win. And they win with the help of Sami Zayn. Because I do think it's about time we put some respect on Mr. Zayn's name. And I think if there is anybody who could push him and really prove to the world and to the business of wrestling that Sami Zayn is the truth, it's Paul Heyman.
I agree with you.
How you feeling about this match, Brendan the guy?
I think this Yep, that's what I'm gonna say.
Don't act like that. Your favorite wrestler is in the match. Stop acting like that.
Jericho?
Thank you, founder.
No,
Jericho's in the
CM
match?
Punk.
Thank
CM
you,
Punk.
Thank you, founder. So back to our regular scheduled program. I don't know how I feel about this. This filler match is not give. I was more excited for the Fatal 4-Way for the Underground title than I was for this. I don't have a feeling about this match because I really don't care about the Paul Heyman in this aspect, and I just don't. I don't know. It's just not clicking for me. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go.
Okay. Here, are you feeling the same way?
That whole faction, I don't even know what they call it, but that faction, it's been moving kind of slow for me. I need something more, and I think we're going to get something more out of this match to tell the story of that faction of like just to establish like literally why they're here, what they're doing exactly, and just take it to the next level. You have to take it to the next level at this PLE or whatever. What are we calling it? Glorified
Yeah.
house show? I don't know. What is that? What that
Oh
is?
yeah,
Glorified house show.
A glorified
Okay,
house
so
show.
yeah, but you have to do some. It has to be a big moment in this match because, like, I mean, I don't really care for the match if you think about it. If you have Seth and Braun versus CM Punk, whatever, it's just all right, whatever, cool.
What's bigger than a Sami Zayn heel turn?
Exactly. I'm with it with that. I like it.
I disagree with Sami heel turn. I think we get a third member, and the third member is either going to be one or two things. Hear me out. It's going to be Jimmy Uso because no one's going to see it coming. Because he's going to believe in Paul Heyman. Because why wouldn't he? Paul Heyman's been making a big thing of, I didn't turn my back on the bloodline. They left me out for die. Jimmy never did that. And I think Sammy will be comfortable thinking Jimmy has his back and Jimmy turns. Jimmy can get somewhere and they could do a storyline with his brother again. Or just hear me out.
Yeah.
Hear me out. You get someone from NXT that was on AEW to join this faction specifically so they could say, well, my issue is Punk held me back, but Paul Heyman's dragging me forward. They never have to address AEW. We'll all get the reference. And I think that will hit. I think you do it Ethan Page.
I was about to say Ethan Page is the only one that comes to mind.
You do it Ethan Page because Lexus King is too goofy looking.
Yes.
Yeah, that hairline is crazy.
He can wrestle though. He can wrestle.
He can. And Ricky Saints right now is still has But hey, if Ricky loses, oh no, because the pay-per-view's the next day. See, they didn't line it up correctly. They should have swapped it.
Interesting.
But I think we get a member to turn, and it has to do something with storyline. I don't think we get a new face. Like, I know there's a lot more Samoans that they signed that are still backstage just waiting for some bloodline opportunity. But there's got to be somebody that helps them win.
And I'm just so saying, Sami Zayn connects all the pieces, bro. He was in the bloodline. He knows Paul. Paul knows him. You have the story there with Jey Uso, Sammy. Why? The same reasons why you left the bloodline is the same reasons why I'm joining Seth's bloodline.
You know why I don't think it works with Sammy, personally? Because they're very vocal right now that the objective is to get Seth World Heavyweight Champion. And if Sammy wants to be World Heavyweight Champion, why would he join a faction where the plan is not to make him World Heavyweight Champion? Like, Braun hasn't said a single thing about the fact that they are straight up saying, oh, yeah, Braun's going to hurt this guy so Seth can later on be World Heavyweight Champion. And when Braun speaks up, we get the thumbs down moment. That's cool. It has to be somebody who can fade in the background and possibly have a better career. And I think you're going to go with a Jimmy Uso.
What if the evolution story is not the route that they're trying to go?
Oh, man. I don't know what route they're going. They're not Nexus. And they're not the Shield.
We walk alone in the unknown.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I don't think Sami Zayn works.
That song was a banger.
I think Sami Zayn is perfect.
I don't.
What other Shield or dummy would you use to keep feeding just so you don't have to use Braun Breaker so he doesn't get fragile, and you're using him for useless matches. Who else to use and throw in War? Just like Paul Heyman told Roman to do with him in the Bloodline. You do it again just with Seth Rollins, and you convince Sammy like they convinced him before. Hey, be with us because with us, you'll get gold, you'll get this, but all he'll be is the dummy.
Charlie,
it should be Cena.
Charlie.
Yeah.
And then The Rock comes out.
Nope, Charlie. I'm telling you, Charlie Dempsey.
Roundabout.
I like Charlie Dempsey. I do like
about
Charlie
that one,
Dempsey.
you didn't you? I was waiting for you to bring it up.
Yeah.
I do like Charlie Dempsey.
It's gonna be someone who looks decent in a suit. Let's be honest.
Well, have you ever seen him in a suit?
No, I'm not saying he don't look good in the suit. I'm just saying.
See, and I think the problem with this storyline. Think about it. The problem with the storyline, we know what a Paul Heyman guy is, right? Charlie Dempsey is really a person that nobody's thinking about, and that would open the door for the next Paul Heyman guy. Who's another heater? Who's another person? Who's another young boy? And I hate these terms, but a new face that you could introduce. Because remember when Seth had his disciple, people forgot it was Buddy Matthews and Austin Theory. Mm-hmm. And then they switched it to AOP. So it's always a non-known face to introduce to get them going, right? So why not? Because like the guy that we watch all the time, he said a Charlie Dempsey could be revealed as the other person. But do we even need another person? We so gun-ho on who's the next person. What if this faction, that is the deal to get that going for whatever reason? Because we still got Money in the Bank. Seth can be the world champion, but we're going to give Braun the Money in the Bank briefcase. Mm-hmm. We could say, because remember, Money in the Bank could be cashed in for anything at this point. You got 3 world titles and 3 secondary titles that he could cash in on.
Possibly a 4th world title in TNA championship.
TNA, yeah.
Yeah.
5 AAA.
Right.
5 of AAA. I'm sure Evolve got a title somewhere.
They do. You didn't see them?
Yeah, they do.
They
got a men's and a women's.
But if they use that Money in the Bank for cashing on Evolve, then we have some serious problems.
That's wild. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, we got some serious problems. Main event, fellas. Main event, Jey Uso, Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship. Is this a margarita match, Hugh? And who do you have winning?
No, it's not a margarita match because Logan Paul's in the match. And Logan Paul is awesome. And he's probably the best superstar to put up against Jey right now. Because this is his first title defense, right?
Second. Technically, first one. Yeah, well,
feud. First feud. Let's do that, right?
Yeah.
Like real feud. All right. So yeah, for this to be his first actual feud or title match, yeah, this is the perfect person. He's the most hated heel in the WWE right now. Mm-hmm. Dom is not a heel anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, and Logan, he doesn't need the title to stay relevant, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna put him in the ring with Jey. Jey is not he's not the best wrestler, but you put him in the ring with somebody who's good. He's not even a wrestler. This is crazy. But who's that good? They can put on the show. Tell a nice little story.
And to add what he said, honestly, from all the cards, it's the most believable person.
Yeah.
Like Logan Paul, I believe Logan Paul could walk out champion without a doubt.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially with the way they set up Gunther and the way Gunther was talking so passionately about it. Like, that was great. I think Logan Paul should win because Jay's better going for the title. We want to cheer Jay. I think the last thing they want to do is have Jay turn into Cody Rhodes. We're booing him. Because once that happens, the yeet and the merchandise and all that run it back, that all stops. You know what I mean?
Like what's
right? Four letters, one word. Like, no, the 30-minute entrances, all that stuff stops once we get tired of him. And we're going to get tired of him if he's constantly the top dog. It was Cody's problem. It's a common problem baby faces have. I think Logan is the guy.
John Cena didn't have that problem.
He didn't hold the title long. Look at all his reigns. They're very short.
But he has to be the top guy though right now because Cody's not there. You have to have a top face.
Oh, yeah. Jey Uso is definitely the super baby face of the company.
Not if they turn Cena back.
That's true, but you know what I mean?
He
That's
hesitated
not
last
happening
time.
for a while. I saw that, and I love it. You know what I mean? And they can play into that, like Brother Dwayne said, they can play into it with the whole R-Truth thing. R-Truth can kind of get in his head and be like, look, what are you doing, John? This is not you. And, he can come back and be like, look, hey, I don't know. These fans are cheering for me. I kind of missed that.
He's in Disney World. He posted that the other day.
Yeah, he's out there chilling.
He's with his daughter. He's being a good dad. I have
With
no.
Mickey and
Hey,
Minnie.
Cody Rhodes is a wrestler. I'll boo. Cody Rhodes is a father. Respect.
Amen.
Separate lives,
separate entities. But yeah, I think Logan should win. I don't think it's a margarita match. I think this match is probably gonna be one of Jay's best matches. I think it'll be better than the Gunther match, personally. Because it's not gonna be, we're gonna call spots, because we all know this. Logan Paul's a rehearsed guy. They're gonna run every single spot constantly until it's ran perfect. That's why Logan Paul looks so good, because he is that good. So I think Jay should lose.
Okay.
So I think it'll be his best match.
Okay. The guy?
Gunther causes Jay to keep the belt. It becomes a triple threat match.
My Money in the Bank.
That Money in the Bank?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way to get Logan in Money in the Bank, so you don't have to fill a spot with him actually being in Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Gunther as well too.
And that winner is probably going to be determined, because I feel like this year we're going to get a cash in on that night again. But I think whoever wins Money in the Bank becomes champion that night too, for the men.
Okay.
Not on Cena though. That's what I said.
Look, if Cena loses first match, wins Money in the Bank, cashes in the same night, wins it again 18 times. 18 times, baby.
You were dying for this 18 times.
Different titles. Yeah. Cashes on Jey Uso.
He is.
18 times, different titles. Now he's on Raw, because he should be. Because why is he on SmackDown if he's only on Raw?
Right.
True. We'll see. Saturday night main event. Saturday night, 8:00. Make sure you catch it. Got some interesting things happening. We got NXT BattleGround happening on Sunday. First match, Tony D'Angelo, Stacks, 1-on-1. Is this a margarita match? Brandon the Guy, and who do you have winning?
Tony D'Angelo. He's going to show why he's Tony D'Angelo, like he keeps showing us in all his matches. So definitely not a margarita match.
See, I got it the other way around. I think Stacks is about to send Tony packing. There's a new boss in town. Hugh, how you feeling about this match?
I'm with you, Brother Marcus. It's going to be a good match. It's not going to be a margarita match for sure, but it makes sense to me to have Stacks win, because Tony D'Angelo is already established. We know what we want to get from him. We're trying to build Stacks right now, so I'm with it.
There,
I got Stacks. I think Stacks throws them in a trunk and Tony goes to main roster. I think they do a killing angle. I love it.
I do like the killing.
Tony, if it happens, Tony D is going to become like Vinci.
Brandy Savage is in the chat. What's going on, Brandy? Hope you're enjoying New York. He says Tony going to main roster.
No, and that's what we like. I hate to say this. We got to. What is he going to do there? What is he going? Don't say main roster. What is he going to do on one of the other two brands?
He's going to beat up Rey Fenix. What do you mean? That's what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, I mean, in all reality, yeah. If you want to bring in, he's got storyline with Santos. You know what I mean? They were in the mafia together.
And he's got no family now.
He's got no family, so
people are going to pull receipts
for a family. He's got stories you could tell on main roster on both sides if he was to go up there and you put him in the mid card spot. Better than seeing Jimmy and some other catering guy. in a triple threat.
Hey, y'all gonna stop disrespecting Big Jim. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I'm a big Jim guy. It just hurt to watch him in the ring with Rey Fenix because they were not on the same levels.
Right.
We got history happened on Sunday night as well. Joe Hendry is putting up his TNA World Championship on a WWE PLE against Trick Williams, fellas. Nate Ram and we got into a little discussion. We're gonna probably carry that discussion on tonight. I, for one, think Trick Williams should win this match. 100%. I think Trick Williams should win this match. I think Joe Hendry should go to NXT and try to get that NXT championship, move on to bigger and better things. The question is, does Joe Hendry need TNA or does TNA need Joe Hendry?
TNA needs Joe Hendry.
100%.
100%.
TNA needs Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry's too big for TNA, and he's too big for NXT.
He's not too big for NXT.
He is. He's way too big for NXT. Did you hear his pop at Mania? He got the loudest pop at Mania. That is a TNA guy. Did you hear his pop in the Rumble? Got one of the second loudest in the men's Rumble. The guy is too big for NXT. He needs to go ahead, finish up his TNA stuff, and go straight to main roster, put him on Raw, where people are going to go nuts on Netflix, and he'll be guaranteed top guy in a couple weeks.
When is his contract up?
It's supposed to be mid this year, so it's coming up.
Okay.
I think he's perfect for NXT. I think he'll make more money on NXT than he would if he went straight to main roster. You'll see him weekly.
Lost in the sauce. Yeah.
You'll see him weekly on NXT, and right now we don't need another super babyface on main roster. We already got Cody Rhodes and we already got Jey Uso. Where do you throw Joe Hendry in the mix?
He's in the mid card. This is your Intercontinental Champion. This is your United States Champion. Joe Hendry's not going to be world champion off the gate, but he is a huge star. He's going to elevate every single mid carder there is. Those Joe Hendry concerts, we get him on The Miz. We get him on Carmelo Hayes. We get him on Aleister Black. You know how easy it is to fit Joe Hendry in all of these segments.
You got guys like you got LA Knight, who I'm taking LA Knight over Joe Hendry. I'm taking Dominic Mysterio over Joe Hendry.
That's borderline.
Yeah.
I'm taking Jacob Fatu over Joe Hendry.
There's not a single person that the crowd would pick over him. When it comes to chanting and cheering
Dominic,
a superstar,
I think Dominic
Dom is right there. That's borderline. But LA Knights, that stops when we start believing. Jacob Fatu's all gas, no brakes. That ain't going far with Joe Hendry in the ring. There's a lot of stuff that Joe Hendry just overshadows. He's too big not to be on the biggest stages. The man's a global phenomenon.
I don't know about global.
I kind of agree. I kind of agree with you as far as being on the main roster. But personally, I would like to see him on NXT because who exactly do you have to be the face of NXT right now? Let's be honest. Obafemi is the champion. No disrespect to him. But is he the face of the NXT? Technically, Trick Williams is still the face. Because if you see the marketing that's on CW, it was built around Trick Williams. Of course, he was the champion at the time, but it's still being presented that way. That's why I say, look, he's going to win this TNA title. He's going to bring it back to NXT. He's going to have it on CW nationally. And it's like, you're going to get extra eyes on that title on a regular basis. He doesn't need to keep it for a long time. You can have that back and forth feud with him and Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry can win it back on the NXT pay-per-view and create more history. Or PLE, my fault.
And throwing him on NXT and letting him win the NXT championship as well will also prove that he can adapt to the WWE style and prove that he can actually carry this crowd week after week after week after week. Because not throwing shade or disrespect on the NXT World Title, but that is in relevance, to a mid-card title on the main roster. So if you could prove to the world that you could hold this at a high prestige and make everybody else want it and know who you are, then that obviously is going to translate to the main roster. But first, we got it's and WWE is all trial and error. They got to see if it works first. I mean, look at Jordan Grace should have been main roster. You know what I mean? Look where she's at.
Yeah.
Julia she's just now getting her main roster. You know what I mean? Stephanie Valkyrie, who I thought should have been main roster, look where she's at. So you gotta see if it works. And if it doesn't work, then you got somebody who's just lost in the sauce and catering until his contract's up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I'm just saying, guys. You take Joe Hendry, you put him on the main roster. Because who's the next face of NXT? I hate to say it, but if it's the next face of previous TNA, I don't like it. I generally think the next face of NXT is someone really young. I think it's Javon Evans.
We're getting to Javon. Let's jump back into our predictions for Battleground though. Joe Hendry, Trick Williams, Brendan the Guy. Who do you have?
Trick.
He's going with history. Well, I guess both is technically history, no matter who wins. Hugh, who do you have?
Trick.
That's 3 tricks. Knit Ram.
Yeah, give me Mellows, bitch.
Why you gotta throw shade, bro?
Because I hate that this is gonna be the decision. But like I said, it's sink or swim for him. They're gonna see if he can carry a company, if he can bump ratings or views or merch or whatever he's gonna do. This is perfect for Trick. I just hate the fact that there's a lot of good TNA wrestlers who got to carry matches for this guy. But that's a whole different story.
He's not that bad anymore.
Nah, he's not anymore. I'll give you that.
Co-main event, NXT Women's Championship match, Stephanie Valkyrie, Jordan Grace. This is definitely not a margarita match. You're definitely going to want to watch this match because these women are about to cook. And give me Stephanie Valkyrie. Knit Ram, how you feeling?
Stephanie Valkyrie. I think Jordan Grace isn't ready yet.
Hugh.
Oh my gosh. My heart is telling me Stephanie. That's who I would like to win. But I feel like Jordan has to win. Like, what has she done so far in NXT? And the way she was presented for the last, 2 years? Is it 2 years? Or at least a year. The Royal Rumble and then showing up on the main roster. Like, you have to push her at some point. She has to get that title.
Yeah.
So I would say, hey, it's a big possibility that she might win it.
Okay, the guy. Brandon?
You're going to hate this answer. I think Jordan has to win because they might need Stephanie in AAA.
Former CM Melder on AAA.
And the only reason I'm saying it because you might not want to take the NXT Women's Champion there, but you could take Stephanie Valkyrie to have a program with the women there and be like she was already an international star. But I think that if you take her there, you lose out on your NXT Women's Champion not being there. So Jordan Grace can stay there because Jordan Grace could always do a program with Marsha Slamovich if they needed to go back over there and tease that as well.
Yeah,
so I think
my money there.
Huh?
They could take my money there.
Exactly, because remember that's who she dropped the title to. And you coming back home to challenge me. But I think because I think Stephanie that's the reason that she's not on the main, I hate saying main roster. I think that's why she's not on Raw SmackDown and they gave her the belt to say, okay, let's elevate her stock. Okay, we got it. Now if we have to take her to AAA as like hey, look, she's wrestling such and such to show Worlds Collide or Evolution or something, because she's going to be a mainstay player with or without the title. But this might be the perfect time to switch it. So that way, former NXT Women's Champion, former NXT North American Champion,
But why not have? But why does she have to be a former? Why couldn't she still be the champion?
Because I think it takes away. Because if she's down there, you won't see her on. Like the NXT Women's Champion has become a focal point for NXT. Like most weeks when you watch NXT, you look forward to seeing your champion there, and that double duty and flying back and forth. I hate to say it, visa issues might come into play. Traveling back and forth sometime could always be an issue that they might have to say we need her there for, and it might just be a run of shows leading up to Worlds Collide. You know what I mean?
And
We
Yeah.
honestly,
right there.
I feel
honestly,
like
now
I
that he
feel like
like,
oh go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'll
No, I was
say
about to say
that.
I feel like I feel like if she has the title, if she has the title and go to AAA, that brings more eyes to the product. Like the WWE universe has to be introduced to AAA in their style of wrestling. You see what I'm saying? Because we
Mhm.
don't have access to that on a regular basis. So if we take her down there as the champion, it forces us to pay attention to AAA, and it forces your AAA people to pay attention to NXT at least because she's on NXT and we know her for somewhat.
Mhm.
So that was my logic with it. But
So only reason
my
I'm gonna
bad,
throw
Nick.
Lucky Rich in there. You had Stephanie Vaquera debut at a house show, right? She had just lost the New Japan Women's Championship, and I was like, why did she have to lose it? Nobody else lost that New Japan Championship when they came to WWE. Why did she have to drop it?
Because
But we cared so much because of her. You know what I mean?
but that was the only one she dropped though. Like she didn't drop CMLL. She didn't drop the CMLL because she refused to put over Tessa Blanchard, which I mean I don't blame her.
I don't blame you.
And her no, yeah, I don't think she dropped her strong title. The strong title she dropped.
Yeah, she lost the strong title.
She lost her strong title.
And she
Well,
showed
I
up in
forgot
WWE.
I forgot what her third title was, but I don't think she dropped that one either.
It was
I
a
think
tag belt. The CML.
it was a tag belt. The tag belts. That's what it was.
But I'm saying, and I get what you're saying. Like, I just think that it would be a loss to NXT because the NXT Women's Champion, is almost like a guaranteed to see every Tuesday. And you think about it, for the last year plus, we've always seen our Women's Champion, especially it's always been a prominent role on there.
And to add to the fact, I think Brendan actually has an interesting point. Was like they want to send her. I was thinking she was going to go main roster, but no, I think he's right. I think they want to send her to AAA, and this is why. I don't know how easy it is to get the CW right in Mexico, but I know how easy it is for Mexico to get Netflix. And I was real curious of why they had Stephanie so oftenly as NXT champion on Raw. But I think it's so the Mexican crowd has an idea of who this woman. Now they already know who she is, but oh man, look at her. She just wrestled Io Sky. She just wrestled, she's constantly on. I don't know what title she has, because I don't know if they have, like I said, I don't know if they have the CW. But it's one of those things where if she goes to AAA, they're gonna say Monday Night Superstar Stephanie Vaquera. Because I don't think they're gonna effins, and then they'll run her achievements or whatever. But for the Mexican crowd, for the European crowds and everyone else, they're seeing it as she's on Raw. Yeah, this is the woman from Raw. So I think that's the right move for her now.
They'll definitely throw the WWE tag in her name, definitely for the marketing. The main event for BattleGround: Obafemi versus Miles Bourne. I don't think this is a margarita match either. I do think this is going to be another good match and a good main event. I got Obafemi winning, but I'm hoping that this match definitely builds and shows a star out of Miles Bourne.
Yep. It's showing out party for Miles. That's all it is, like you said.
I think Jasper Troy costs Oba the title, and we get a good feel moment. I think we get a good feel moment of Miles Bourne winning the title. I generally think it's the right move. As a business aspect, as a media aspect, as everything, putting the title on Miles Bourne is the right move. Oba's overstaying his welcome.
For me,
I gave him the rest of this year, and he's out.
For me, Oba can keep his feet on the coffee table as long as he wants, right? I think Miles being in the position that he's in right now is already a feel-good moment for anybody that's already behind him. I don't think he needs the title to do that, to get to that spot, because I think him just being there already right now, they're already at that spot. Anybody who is therefore is just there in that level spectrum, right, with him, can say if he could be there challenging for a world title, I could be there challenging for a world title, right? If you allow this LFG guy who has literally done nothing and his first instance in NXT was take out the world champion, and then he makes the world champion lose, and then now Obafemi has to put this guy over, and he doesn't work out. You just wasted Obafemi's time.
But we're also going to get to a point where, believably, who's going to pin Oba? Oba's only going to lose because look how long it took before Tony D'Angelo did it. And that's the last time, or maybe the only time, I actually think he actually got pinned.
Wesley will take that title from him.
Wes, I don't want to get into that conversation.
You also have the Dark State.
I think there's a lot of factors where Miles Bourne can leave champion, and I think that's the right move. I think if Trick's going to be TNA champion as a heel, your biggest babyface you can do right now would be Miles Bourne for the fact that he has a positive message.
I'm not gonna lie, man. You can't make Miles Bourne champion without having Charlie Dempsey champion.
Sure, you can. Charlie Dempsey's out.
Yeah, you can.
You can.
At this point, you can. He's already been put over by Randy Orton, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I just don't see him winning. And if he wins, it's transitional. He loses it in a week,
2 months, 3 months, whatever.
No, not even that long.
I don't see him losing it. I ain't gonna lie.
I think
I don't
Miles
got
Bourne
Oba
has a good
losing.
run. I think Miles
I don't got
Bourne
Oba
wins and he beats Charlie Dempsey.
Well, either way, Oba can show up on Monday and join Seth. Become a Paul
Look at
Heyman guy.
That'd be a good one.
We'll see. What you got over there, Brennan? How you thinking, Oba or Miles?
Oba. Because like I said, Wesley is going to be the one to take it from him. It's a reason that they had to put people with Wesley. Wesley helped us focus on who Oba was. I'm so happy that Oba is in a one-on-one match. This is going to be his proving ground to say, I got this, until Wesley is ready to challenge and take that title from him, because Wesley got muscle behind him so he could become your NXT champion. It's the reason that Wesley is still there. They gave him a name. He has his faction. They figured it out. He's in the background for a reason.
I like it. It.
What if Oba does lose though? Because he's been talking about how he's being booked in triple threats lately.
Yeah.
And then he's finally put in a singles match and he mess around and lose.
I just can't see it.
I can't see it, but you never know now.
I just can't see that his only single match defending his title, he loses. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
He's been beating two guys at once for the longest time. All of a sudden, he loses to one dude.
That's wrestling. It doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah, that's wrestling logic.
That is wrestling now.
Let's jump into our move the needle. I don't have the ad today. It didn't load up. Sorry, but it's brought to you by SeatGeek, fellas. Our move the needle today is the TNA World Champion. Does Joe Hendry move the needle? Let's start with Brandon the Guy.
So in what aspect do you mean does he move the needle? Because here's the thing. He brought eyes to TNA for everything he did outside of TNA. He made viral sensations, don't necessarily translate over to the wrestling world, but viral sensations just make you tune in and say, all right, what is this guy doing? Did it keep you? Did it do anything? So that's what I'm saying. What do you mean move the needle? Now, in the WWE space, he's a perfect superstar.
Does Joe Hendry move the needle for you?
It depends on his opponent. It depends on his
really
opponent.
what I'm asking. When you see Joe Hendry's name or you hear Joe Hendry is going to be in Baltimore for a convention or for a wrestling promotion, are you there? Are you tuning in to anything that Joe Hendry is doing? Does he move your needle?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. And I like Joe Hendry. Don't get me wrong, I do. but I'm not gonna like if it came to a point like, oh, go see Joe Hendry or somebody else. I don't think I would jump at the chance. A year ago, absolutely. And he will laugh when I say it because a year ago I was all in with Joe Hendry. So
Okay. Hugh, what about you? Joe Hendry move your needle?
No, because he's corny. He's whacking the ring. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Nah, but
thought you was talking about Trick
no,
Williams for a second.
the real reason is he beat Nick Nemeth for the title. So no, he doesn't move the needle. Nah, but no, straight up though, he has star power is crazy. So he does move the needle. I mean, if he was in my town, I wouldn't personally go out and be like, oh my God, I gotta go see Joe Hendry. But to anybody else, you gotta think this dude is a top superstar right now. You know what I'm saying? Nick Ram said it earlier. That star power is impeccable. It's crazy right now. So yeah, he moves the needle. He moves the needle. Now
Okay.
the issue is with him though. With moving, say if we did move him to the main roster, I think too much of him on a weekly basis will be too much for the main roster. Because to be honest, respectfully, his work to me, like as far as in the ring, is whack. It's whack. And what stories can you really tell with that corny gimmick that he has? It's a catchy, corny gimmick. You know what I mean? Like you said earlier, Marcus, that Uber baby face type thing. Nah, bro. Like it's corny. It's corny.
I'm happy
So
to
like
be here.
I think that if he's on an NXT or a TNA and he pops up every once in a while, that's better for him as opposed to just being on the main roster trying to find his way with all these other established superstars already. If that kind of makes sense, because
No,
he
yeah.
can get that type of pop when he steps in at WrestleMania or at the Royal Rumble. You know, if he's still down at NXT doing his thing, he can come up at any time. So I mean, long story short, he does move the needle for your regular wrestling fans. For me personally, nah, I'm good. I'm off of him. I'm good off of him.
Nick Ram?
Moves the needle, moves the YouTube numbers, moves the ratings, moves the merch sales. Joe Hendry moves everything. If he's in my local town, I have gone to see him. Actually, he's my screensaver for one of my buddies when he calls. That's a fun fact. My buddy, if my buddy Paco calls me, it's Joe Hendry's little hand movement. Joe Hendry is something that shouldn't work, and it works too well. Because like you guys said, he's corny.
Yeah.
He's not the
Big
most
corny.
interesting wrestler. I will admit he has a basic moveset. But everything that he does before that bell rings is phenomenal. What can he do on the main roster? He's going to break down people's careers simply through song. Little things that we want, that we forget, but now we remember. Oh, this guy did this years ago. Oh, he's related to Hornswoggle. Just little stupid stuff. He's going to make it a thing. I think the way people have not got tired of Jey Uso is the same way people will never get tired of Joe Hendry. There's
But the
just something
difference is-
about it. I'm saying there's just something about it that when he's there, it's so contagious.
It is.
I hate Jey Uso's entrance of 30 minutes, but it's contagious. If I'm there live, I know I'm sitting there like a hypocrite going up and down. You know, like I know when I see Joe Hendry live, I wave my hands in the air, side to side.
Yeah.
Like I know this for a fact. I know when we saw Trick Williams, you guys, we were all there at the Stand Deliver in Philly. I was saying, whoop that trick. Brendan has video footage. He has this for blackmail.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain things that are so contagious that it just won't die. And I genuinely think Joe Hendry is that. He's going to move merch. He's going to bump ratings. He's going to get pops in every city. And because you're not in the same... The reason why I don't think it works in NXT is because they're constantly in the same spot. It's the same 200 people. It's going to die out. But we're moving city to city with this guy. And he's absolutely... People are buying tickets to do the Joe Hendry waiting, to hear the theme song. People are buying tickets for that. Do we care about his matches? Probably not. He's not a bad wrestler, but he's not an exciting wrestler either.
He's a bad wrestler.
He's not a bad. He's a safe wrestler. He's better than Trick. Nah, I
He's
stand
safe,
10 toes
but
down on that.
he sucks.
Tell Trick to land that flying knee he's been doing for 6 years now. It's god awful. Still god awful.
This dude
But-
hates a Trick with a passion.
But
He
I was
does. He
just-
really does.
I was told to be nicer to Trick too. But yes, Joe Hendry does move the needle. I think Joe Hendry is in all aspects a mega star. He's too big.
Okay. There's other people that feel like that with you. He doesn't move the needle personally for me either. I could care less if he's wrestling or not, but it's just me. It's
But
just
at the end of the day, and like you know what I'm saying, all of that is great. And I hate to steal a word from Adam Cole, when the bell rings, you know what I mean? Like he still has to do that. And it's like, for instance, no matter how much my time is up, my time is down, people call him the GOAT. He was forced down our throats so much that it came a thing where we said 5 moves of doom. Joe Hendry is on the same track as that we're going to be saying, all of this is great. Hear me out. All of that is great, what you said, Ned Ram. But then when the bell ring, we're going to be talking about his 5 moves of doom, right? And then
I personally don't think we do.
But I'm telling you, because he got popular, he took the Zack Ryder thing and took it to another level, right? Zack Ryder became popular outside of WWE, which was his downfall at the time, right? If Zack Ryder would, because he made himself relevant to bring the fans in, right? He's doing the same thing. But then when the bell ring, because I'm a fan, yeah, that's all cool and dandy. When it doesn't live up to the match I saw before because I'm here to see Joe Hendry, or wait a minute, I'm here and excited for that, but then dang, I'm talking about this match, or I'm talking about that, or he's not the main event, or I waited all night to see him. It's gonna be like, I waited for this. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, when we say move the needle, if he wasn't getting that money, how long did you see that WrestleMania shirt Joe Hendry had on after WrestleMania? Oh, he was getting his money. He said, I'm gonna sell this shirt.
Top sold out.
I was at WrestleMania, and that's what I'm saying. Yes, that absolutely. Give that man his due because he put the work in. But then literally once the bell rings, it's like, you know what you're going to get. You know you're going to get all right, hopefully the match before wasn't that great because you're going to be talking about that match and be like, well, Joe Hendry is it. And I'm not discrediting anything in front of this man. But in the aspect of wrestling, no. In the aspect of entertainment, absolutely. Does he need to be on Raw, SmackDown? Absolutely not, because it's going to be the curse that AEW has. It's going to be 3 weeks, then we're going to forget about him. And then it's going to be like, oh, by the way, we have a Joe Hendry here. Oh, by the way, here it is. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't fit. It fits with TNA because they needed something outside. They needed an entertainment aspect that they were missing. Because right now, what in TNA was drawing you to it? Truthfully, what was drawing you to TNA before WWE started doing anything? Because AEW definitely ain't drawing you.
Naomi.
Okay, that was 6 months. Come on with it.
Whoa.
That was only 6 months.
It's a great
She was
reign.
only there
Hey,
6 months.
You know what I'm gonna say.
That was only 6 months. But let's be honest. Even with the Wanted Man, it felt different. It didn't feel like Nick Nemeth. I mean, it didn't feel like Dolph. It felt like, okay, we got to get used to Nick Nemeth. But he went out and did it. He said, okay. And honestly, he as much as I love Jordan Grace, he should have been the first digital media champion, and that would have skyrocketed himself. He would have been the most important thing, period, in TNA, and he would have brought eyes there. It became a thing was like, finally, he got the digital media championship, a belt that you would think was made for him was Zack Ryder. And then guess what? He kind of fell off, and then he had to get himself going again. And he made TNA. He actually made TNA relevant to the point that people say, "Okay, we're going to go back here." Oh, look what they got going on there. Look what this guy's doing. That's probably what garnered the attention for WWE to say, "We got to do something with these people. They got something.
Yeah.
Let's help them."
That's the title that TNA Legend PCO held, right?
Who?
Yeah, all right.
PCO who?
Let's not get into PCO. Let's get into these predictions for AEW Double or Nothing. We'll start off with the first match: stretcher match, Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe. Is this a margarita match, and who do you got, Hugh?
I can't go against Froggy Bo. My dude Chicken, dog. Chicken's winning this one. Ricochet is doing a hell of a job though in AEW. I'll give him that, but
He is killing it. He is killing it. Nate Ram?
I got Ricochet. They have to give him a win. He's been losing a little too much. He's a great heel. And I think Mark Briscoe can eat a lose, and he's always on TV. He's there to lose. And he's always on TV. People love him.
It's true.
People love him. You know what I mean? If he loses,
He's such a good man.
We don't
He's
care.
such a good guy.
Right.
The guy?
I hate that. I agree. I love Mark Briscoe. But it's going to be Ricochet. And I'm telling you, it's exactly what Nick Ram said. He's going to take a loss. He's going to pop back on TV, and we're going to be like, yep, well, didn't care who he wrestled. It's Mark Briscoe again. We want to see him.
We got a random, well, not random. I guess they've been building up for a random tag team match. Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler versus Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. It's a margarita match for me. I'm not going to lie, and I don't care who wins. The guy, how you feeling?
I'm 100% agreeing with you. This is 2 margaritas for me on this match, and some chicken tenders and French fries. I'll stand in the line that long.
Okay,
you gonna get some? You gonna get sauce with those?
Absolutely. Honey mustard and barbecue sauce.
You ain't gonna raw dog them? Okay.
I don't want you.
And we'll go check out the sold out merch.
Right. I don't care about this match. Hey, why is this match even a thing?
Why is it on the card?
This is definitely a Dynamite. Yeah, this is definitely.
I would love to see the main event of Dynamite. Like, I feel like this could main event Dynamite. I don't want to see this one.
Hey, look, this is a margarita match for me, and I don't even drink. So, hey, I'm just being real.
Margarita, hold the alcohol.
Right. Straight water.
Give me the juice.
Splash a little juice in it.
Put an umbrella in it, too. Right.
Oh, man. After that, we have the AEW World Tag Team titles is on the line. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin with MVP and MJF. They're going to go up against the Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara. Nate Ram, margarita match, and who do you got?
Yeah, this is a margarita match, but the entrance, though, is all I care about. You know how much I love that theme song. We hurt people. We hurt people.
You don't know what they say. I let him hear in the car. He's like, that's what it's saying? I said, yeah, it's really sad.
I love it. But the only reason why this is not in margarita match is to see what MJF does. Mm-hmm. But even then, I can get drunk and do that. So this is another thing. It should have been on Dynamite, personally.
The guy, how you feeling about this match?
Cedric Alexander debuts, and that's going to start a feud between MJF and him. And that's how the Hurt Syndicate win, because they're going to be happy he helped him win, unlike what MJS did it to help him win. It's going to start this issue to keep them relevant.
Okay, Hugh.
That's a lot going on. I don't really care for the match. I do want to see the entrance though, like you said, Nick Rand.
We hurt people.
But
we hurt people.
The Hurt Syndicate, they're going to win it. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then of course, you're going to have some shenanigans with MJF. But that's a lot going on with him and Cedric.
I think Brandon's right though. I think Cedric comes back, and then when they try to put him in, MJF constantly gives him the thumbs down because you need all the members to agree.
That's why I said he's going to cause them to win, and they're going to be excited that he's there. Unlike when MJF helped them win, they were irritated.
Right.
I mean, look how you got to think like Tony Khan.
That's perfect.
We got AEW Continental Championship is on the line. Okada versus Mike Bailey. Mike Speedball, Mike Bailey. I think this is going to be a great match. I don't think this is a margarita match for me. I don't think Mike Bailey's going to win, but I do think he's going to have a great showcasing against Okada. But I got Okada in this match. The guy?
I think that Okada puts over Mike to help get him going. Because, I think there's going to be he's going to say, no, I think Okada probably is going to drop it to him. But I thought they were supposed to have a unification match. Did I miss that?
So that's the plans apparently for All In, but that's a rumor plan.
Okay. So I wasn't okay. So if that's still the plan, then no, Okada's going to win. But I really feel like this might be Speedball's time to get something going. And it might be a short title reign for him to get it right back.
Yeah. How you feeling about this?
Okada wins. Speedball balls out. Does his thing.
Nick Rand?
Give me 5 stars. 5 stars for Okada. I think Okada actually needed this more than Speedball does, guys.
Yeah.
People don't generally get the comedy of Okada that he's been doing, and I get it. I like it personally. But he also hasn't had the 5-star matches that we've been seeing in Japan recently. Well, not recently, because recently he has been stepping up. But since he stepped away from the Elite, Okada has been doing really good work. And I think Speedball is really going to give him that first 5-star match where we look and we say, oh, that's the Okada that fights Kenny Omega, so he can go fight Kenny Omega.
Okay.
Okay. AEW Women's World Championship match. Tony Storm versus Mina. I don't think this is. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. This is a margarita match because I already know who's gonna win. It's gonna be Tony Storm. I don't gotta watch this.
You're wrong.
Mina
wins. Mina wins with Mariah May at her side. With Mariah May at her side, Mina wins the title.
I could see that too. I can see that too, but I'm not gonna lie. We got to get away from Tony Storm, Mariah May.
Yeah.
Say it again. Say it louder for the people in the back.
Bro, she killed her on television, bro.
We need to give Tony Storm a break in general.
Absolutely not. We need to keep saying timeless. I love her.
It.
Even though I slept on her one time. I mean, I love Tony Storm.
We'll see. I got. It seems like we're all Tony Storm here, except Nate Ram.
Of course.
Even though I do love Mina.
We got the Anarchy in the Arena match, which this is probably going to be another margarita match. Not going to lie, you could probably get a few margaritas, and it's probably going to keep going. But you got the Death Riders with the Young Bucks, and you have on the other side Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Willow Nightingale, Samoa Joe, Shibata, and Hobbs. I think Death Riders win. Honestly, I don't care, but I think Death Riders win.
Okay.
I don't think they do. But also, you're crazy. This is going to be the funnest match of the whole night. These matches don't miss. They don't miss. Stadium Stampede, Anarchy in the Arena, all of them, they don't miss.
I don't think that it's not going to be a good match. It's just so much.
It's just
so much. You know what I mean? It's 11:45 at night. I got to get to there's 3 more matches before we get to the main event, and these guys are still fighting.
He described every
Wild Thing is still playing.
Right.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I'm agree. I'm gonna tell you this. I agree 100% with Nick Ram. These matches, some reason, when they start Anarchy, every time I've been entertained with each one. The last one was the best when they had Daniel Bryan music playing. He was like and they kept the music playing while he was fighting. I was like, why is this so great?
Darby brought out a flamethrower.
I said, they don't miss. I said, what is happening? But it was so much. But it's what you expect, a chaotic choreo. It felt like it was cinematic matches in real time. And I'm saying every time it's been enjoyable. I don't care who wins as long as it's not Jon Moxley. No, he's not in it. It's the Death Riders, right?
No, Jon Moxley's in it.
Supposedly on Collision they added Gabe Kidd, so there's supposed to be another person, which I think is straight out of Mount Everest. Is Darby Allin.
Oh Lord, if he is, he's going to jump off something. But I think that, and I hope Willow has her shine in this match.
Honestly, I hope Marina looks good too.
No, I hope Willow. You said Willow wrong. So yes,
I said both of them.
You said Willow. You said Willow wrong.
There's some bigger guys on Kenny's team than there is on the Death Riders team. Yeah, I think Willow might get her name in real good. We have a Owen Hart women's. Go ahead.
Hold on before we move on. Can Powerhouse Hobbs finally make up for not being able to pick up Big Show on that one?
No.
There's no way he makes it up for this one?
No, because there's no.
Slams 2 people.
No. The man couldn't pick up the Big Show. You try to show off your muscles. You try to show off your muscles, and you couldn't pick up. I'm not going to say, first of all, Paul didn't hit no favors. His knees don't work. His ankles don't work. So I don't even know why they try to go for that spot. But it was very dangerous, very stupid, and it made Powerhouse Hobbs. It made a meaty man look so weak, and it just wasn't good for him. Just wasn't good for him. Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament Final. Mercedes Moné, Jamie Hayter. I don't think this is a margarita match. I want to see Jamie Hayter work at the pace I know she could work at. I think Mercedes is a great opponent for that too. But I got Mercedes Moné in this because I think people want to see Mercedes versus timeless Toni Storm. Who you got, Hugh?
100% Mercedes. Just for that simple fact. It's time. Timeless versus Mercedes. We need it. They've been away from each other for too long.
I think people want Jamie Hayter more than they want Mercedes. Jamie Hayter versus Toni is like the match. Plus, if you do that, we could start a program for this TBS title that has not had a program in a long ass time. But I also think Tony's losing, so I don't think you need Tony to be champion to go for the TBS title. I think you could still get Mercedes Tony somehow without Mercedes or Tony winning.
That's true too. Brandon?
I'm glad that we're getting Sasha Banks back. And I think that's going to be her and Tony. And because she lost the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, she's going to be carrying around this Owen Hart belt. And then I can't wait for the promo that Thomas is going to cut on her. That's going to be just as important as the match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Jamie, now don't get me wrong, they could always run it back that Jamie Hayter fights her for that TBS title because Jamie Hayter never had that title. Wasn't she supposed to have a title shot? Then she got injured.
But it was for the main title, I think.
Oh, that was for the women. That's right.
Yeah, it's for the main title.
Okay, never mind. And I think the world of Jamie Hayter because she came out of nowhere, and I truly like Jamie Hayter is such a dark horse. It's like, oh, okay.
Early AEW days, I was such a big Jamie Hayter fan. Like I used to tell Marcus all the time, like she's gonna be a huge star, and that injury just set her back so much because she was so over. Mm-hmm. She was so over. But Tony Khan does one thing well is he builds a sidekick to be a main star. I don't know how he does it, but when I see sidekicks, yeah, I be seeing sidekicks. Yeah. I'm like, man, when did they become the main guy? He's really good at that.
Another Owen Hart Foundation tournament men's final. Will Ospreay, Hangman Adam Page. This match is definitely not a margarita match. This is a match that's going to be very entertaining and very, very fast paced. You probably don't want to take your eyes off the screen. A Dave Meltzer 5-star. This will probably be called not a wrestling match by some marks from the IWC of WWE. But you're not going to want to miss this. I think this is going to be a good match. Will Ospreay doesn't disappoint, but Hangman Adam Page also doesn't disappoint. A lot of people sleep on Hangman. The man is filthy. The man can work.
Me, I sleep on it. Yeah.
Really? Crazy. You sleep on Hangman?
Yeah, I don't like horsey man.
Crazy.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Please don't get him started.
He just doesn't do it for me. Yeah.
Okay. That's a conversation.
No specific reason. He just doesn't do it for me.
So you got Will Ospreay in this match then?
Yeah, I got Ospreay. It's gonna be a great match though. It's gonna be the match of the night for sure.
Oh, 100%. I agree with you on that.
He can go. Don't get me wrong. Adam Page can go. I just don't care for him.
The guy?
I'm going with Tony Khan's favorite, as in Will Ospreay, so he could talk more trash later on.
Yeah, bro.
There you go.
And he's gonna wait the title around because he's got to take it off Jon Moxley.
So this is officially the main event of the show. They made that announcement on Wednesday. The story that they've told, the promos that they've cut, this is going to be the best match, not only on the card, probably of the year that AEW can put on. Because it really is the main character of AEW versus the best wrestler in the fucking world, as Will Ospreay put it. It has to be Hangman. Hangman has to beat Moxley. It has to be Hangman. The Hangman winning in Texas is the biggest thing that we can do. Hangman saving AEW, quote, from Jon Moxley, is we're sorry that we let Punk do this to you. Because that was the story that they tried to sue. What did Heyman say? I'm saving AEW for the first time in my life, and he lost. He has the opportunity to right his wrongs. Hangman has to win, and then he has to beat Moxley. But it's not a margarita match. I won't be glued to the TV. My phone will be on silent. I won't even talk to nobody. Like, this is the one thing I'm looking forward to. I don't care if it's 2:00 in the morning, Marcus. I will be glued to the TV looking at this.
I mean,
can we FaceTime and watch it together?
That's not right. Oh man!
As long as he wears that hoodie,
Right.
Let's move into our main event question, fellas. Main event question tonight.
It looks like all the talking has been done. It's time for the main event.
Main event question, fellas. With so much wrestling this week, is it an overload or is this the golden era we've been craving? Let's start with Brennan the Guy.
Okay, so here's okay. So I was talking to Brother Hill about this, right? I don't know if you remember a few years ago, the CW went like all in on superhero shows, and it got to the point where, and I'm a superhero fanatic, if you couldn't tell, it got to a point where I said, "Yeah, I'm not watching this," because I had so many options, but I love anything superhero, right? And I remember watching a certain show. I'm gonna leave it alone. And the first episode, I was like, "Yep, that's enough of that." I feel like wrestling is getting to that space where I'm starting to say, "Yeah, I'm okay. I don't have to click on that." Like, I love the variety because you can watch Arrow, you can watch Flash, you can watch Supergirl, you can watch Legends of Tomorrow, and they all felt different. And then when they crossed over, you look forward to that one event. Then it got to the point you was like, well, this is not as good as this. This is not as good as that. And we kept comparing. And some lasted a season, some lasted two. So I feel like now it's becoming overload because not only do you have the shows, you got the social media. You got I can go back on the network and watch it. I can go back and watch certain things. I can go search. We can have these conversations. I can turn on. Every time I click, it's like, oh, there's more wrestling. Even to the point when I go on Facebook, I just see a belt. I see something about wrestling. It's only becoming overload because it's in so many different spaces in front of our faces.
Okay. Hugh, how you feeling?
It's not wrestling overload for me because there was a point in time where we were left craving more wrestling. We only got wrestling, 2 times a week? You know what I'm saying? So it's not overload for me. I'm glad that we have this much wrestling. If it's overload, it's only overload for somebody who decides to actually try to catch up or keep up with everything that's going on. Like, you have the opportunity to decide on what you want to watch. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to watch each and everything that's out there. That's when it becomes overload for someone. But I'm very proud that we have this much wrestling, and as a proud wrestling fan, I'm gonna continue to watch.
And I agree. Ram, how you feeling? You feel like it's overload, or you think this is a good spot we're in right now?
So for me, I think it's a good spot on a general basis. Okay. And for people that don't know, me and Marcus are brothers. We have the same dad. And when he comes to North Carolina, he stays with me. And sometimes he stays a week. And I was telling him, like, Dad, whatever you're doing Monday, I'm watching Raw. And he'll be like, okay. And on Tuesday, he'll be like, do you want to watch a movie? And I'll be like, well, I'm watching NXT. And then Wednesday, he'll be like, hey, do you want to watch this? And I'll be like, well, I'm watching AEW. He's like, Thursday, I'm like, well, that's when we pod. But if you want to watch wrestling, we got TNA. And, and he's like, oh, what about Friday? You got something? I was like, yeah, we have Friday. And then, I think the issue when it becomes an overload is when companies are being petty about what days they're booking. There's no reason in my personal aspect why WWE, for example, has a hand in TNA, right? There's no reason why I should have Under Siege on Friday, Saturday Night Main Event, and a Sunday pay-per-view all in one weekend. You could have spread this out. And the only reason why you did a Saturday night at this day is because you knew there was another company, or I'm sorry, Sunday at this day is because you knew there was another company that was going to do the same thing. So you chose that date on purpose to take viewers away. And I think in a sense, that's when it gets overload, because now I'm sitting here like, I got to keep up with both shows because one company wants to pull me away. But on a general aspect, I don't mind the wrestling Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I take my break, Friday. And then every Saturday or Sunday, there's a PLE. But for some reason, we have 4 in the mass of 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's when it becomes a little too much. Like, how am I going to process? I have to process these matches, and I'm sitting there like, well, this match is not as good as this one that just happened, or maybe it was, but recent bias. The TNA show is going to get no love because Saturday Night Main Event. Not to include SmackDown is on. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I think they need to choose their dates better. And I don't think it's overload. I think, like you said, we've been craving more wrestling. I love the fact that I can watch so much wrestling, and I don't got to get on YouTube just to watch New Japan because there's nothing else on my TV. But it gets to the point where we just have to choose better dates. When your competitors are on TV, and if you're going to be petty and overload that same weekend as the other people, then you're not only just hurting your fans, but you're hurting wrestling fans in general. You're hurting wrestling. And that's when I think it becomes a little bit of an overload.
That's a good point. I mean, I don't want to say wrestling is at an overload, right? But there's like, for instance, there's a lot going on this weekend, and I think it makes a 3-day weekend forward to look to. You know what I mean? And like, I could actually watch this AEW pay-per-view because I don't have to worry about, getting up on Monday. I do agree with you about, the stacking on, you're going to watch NXT, you're going to watch AEW. Obviously, like, I think you and I are going to watch AEW. I'll keep open NXT on my phone, on socials. Same thing for TNA. I think the only thing I'm really interested in TNA is the main event. And does Joe Hendry, Trick Williams? Could care less about the rest of the card. So, that's something I'll probably tune in and see if I could, maybe catch a stream on X or wherever they're streaming it at. But I do agree. Yeah. I think just picking better dates and then there's no reason that wrestling can't control a whole month of pay-per-views or PLEs, but WWE is just a little bit harder too, because now you have to also keep in the fact with TKO and all their UFC stuff. So
yeah, because they tried the whole weekend, right? That's how they've been
right.
putting their stuff, that they take over that whole city.
Right. And then you got like for instance, a few weeks with Backlash, like it just felt rushed because they had that big UFC pay-per-view that they made sure everybody wanted to go tune into that. So, it was really weird. I think even me and Nate Ram said it was 10 o'clock and the PLE was already over. Me and Nate Ram was like, what the hell?
What do we do now?
There could be still so much wrestling, So, but no, I don't think there's an overload, and maybe just scheduling has to be better.
But then I think giving us so many choices is also hurting it too, because and I'm just thinking about like the superhero thing. I wanted to watch it all, but I'm like, I was able to say, nope, that's I'm okay. You know what I mean? Like, nope, yeah. I'm gonna go because I like this one instead. Yep, they did this better. And it was like, now it's so much. Like, now you got to choose. Like, and he made a comment like, and they taking all our money. Like, and they had all right. So for instance, right now, if they had SmackDown at the what is the arena called now? What is our arena called? CFG on Friday, and then let's say the Saturday night's main event at the stadium, and then Sunday was at somewhere else, and then we were like, we would have to be forced to make choices. Be like, no, I'm okay, or oh well, we've been saving up for last year for this because we're going to try to get to everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how everything plays out this weekend. Brendan the guy, he has a third man. guys, you know what it is. We always appreciate y'all hopping on, coming to talk wrestling. We did a little overtime. Usually that happens when we have Brendan on. We always go over when Brendan's on.
No, you talk too much.
With that being said, please get your plugs and let everybody know where they can find y'all.
Oh, okay, my bad. You want me to just jump off?
Oh yeah, because I talk too much apparently. So go ahead.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, y'all can find me at HASTHE3RD, HASTHE3RD on all social media platforms. You can catch that guy, Brandon the Guy, the Belt King Guy, at Custom Guy 913 on all social media platforms. You can catch us on IG at Championship Culture _ Brother Guy, you know the rest. Send him home.
Everybody has a story.
And of course, I'm the one that makes them say, "Oh damn, I'm Nit Ram," and you can catch me on Twitter at NITRAM_4 SOTR. That's NITRAM_4 SOTR. Where every day I tweet Westside Gun. Are you coming to WrestleCade? Hasn't responded yet, but we're not giving up.
Yeah, don't give up. That's what John Cena taught us. You can follow me. You can follow me, the founder MH. But most importantly, man, follow us on all of our social media platforms. 4 Sides of the Ring podcast on IG, 4 Sides OTR. You've been hanging out with us since we started this episode, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this with all your wrestling fans. Go check out my guys over here, Championship Culture. I promise you will not be disappointed with their content. They will tell you everything you need to know about every and any single belt. The guy has every belt ever made. Don't let him lie to you. Other than that, you already know what it is. Enjoy Friday Night SmackDown. Enjoy Saturday Night Main Event. Enjoy the TNA pay-per-view. Enjoy BattleGround. Enjoy Double or Nothing. Enjoy your weekend. And always remember, if you're not watching wrestling or if you're not enjoying wrestling, you're not watching it right. We'll catch you guys next week.